Walking down the street with a strut. Everybody staring like what a stunt. Got my shades on and my head held high. They don't know the magic about to supply. Wait till they get a load of me. I'm the shot they didn't see. Wait till they get a load of me. Gonna turn and make them notice me. Wait till they get a load of me. Just you wait and see. Just you wait and see. When I hit the scene they can't comprehend. I'm a star they can't defend. Always leave them in bewilderment. A phenomenon heaven sent. Wait till they get a load of me. I'm the shot they didn't see. Wait till they get a load of me. Gonna turn and make them notice me. Wait till they get a load of me. Just you wait and see.
Well, all right. Hello, everybody.
All right.
Welcome, everyone. It's Retro Nerd Girl, and I am with the award-winning author, Douglas A. Burton. And we are going to be watching one of my favorite superhero movies from way back in the day. It's Batman 1989. And wow. what can we say about this movie?
Man, this was there's always these movies that kind of that just zing pop culture with a big thrill and kind of reset the board, redefine what people are going to get excited about. And this is definitely in that tradition. It was kind of a game changer when it came out.
Oh yes. Now, prior to this, there was a Superman movie in 1978 or 9, 8, I believe.
78.
And we are gonna actually watch this afterwards. I'm actually gonna be watching it over on Lorena's Creole's channel. So if you're loving what you're seeing here, going over and head over there to watch the Superman watch party that we're gonna have a little bit later.
Superhero Day with Retro
I
Nerd Girl.
know. Yes, I know. Where's my DC shirts and memorabilia? And this movie in particular, I think for Superman there was a lot of hoopla, but this movie in particular really went on the super uber end of marketing for this thing. It was insane, the amount of marketing. They were in line with almost every popular franchise there was. McDonald's, they had underwear, they had toys everywhere. Every single place you could get flurries and with little toys, and it was just insane how many things were connected to this movie as far as merchandising and the advertising to go with that.
They did such a good job. They were so omnipresent that I remember June 23rd was the day it was coming out because it was on every poster. You would look at every bus stop. I grew up in Chicago, so every bus stop would have, it was that golden metallic symbol of the bat, and it just said Batman, or it just said June 23rd, and that was it. And it was on the sides of buses. It was on billboards. There was these shirts everywhere. Prince had his song that came out, Bat Dance, which was everywhere. This was a massive event movie with massive buildup. And Retro, I think you're totally right. I think the superhero genre.
Yes.
We hear today, superhero fatigue and blah, 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 which is funny to me because no end in the appetite for superheroes, and Marvel kind of reset the board with what you could do with the pantheon of superheroes and superheroines. Well, the 80s, for the golden age that it was in film, was very light on superheroes. In fact, you could make the argument Superman was the biggest superhero of them all, like you said. And for those of you who love Superman like I do, Lorena and Retro will be watching Superman 1, 1978, right after this stream. But that was the big superhero. You know,
Yeah.
he is a product of the 70s.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve Superman. Superman 2 came out, I believe, in 1981. Was it 1980 or 1981? I think it was 1980 because I think what was it? You know, and it might have been 1981 because I think Raiders of the Lost Ark was competing with it for the top box office that year.
Okay.
But he was a continuation of the 1970s version of Superman. The screenwriter was Mario Puzo in Superman 1. He's, you know, from The Godfather, a real big 70s movie. And then you had Wonder Woman, who also really came out of the 70s with Linda Carter. And
Yes.
so, you know, the superheroes had this kind of 70s vibe that was kind of like limping into the 80s as the 80s redefined cinema, right?
Yes.
And so now by
1989,
you have got a jacked up audience in the United States.
Yes.
Becoming a global audience. And here we get a newcomer, Tim Burton, who's going to tackle Batman and make it a big budget film. And the world was like, bring it on. We are.
Yes. I mean, and every kid at that time was just like super, super happy and enjoyed themselves. You know, before the movie, after the movie, either during the hoopla of the movie, it's just had been one of those things for a couple of decades there, just people in the afterglow of that movie. And before we go any further, I just want to acknowledge the chat really quickly. Hi guys, how are you? We just wanted to dive right into this because it's so good. It's so good. Let's see, we got DJ Knight in the house. Hello, says hi RNG. Can't wait for Batman. Oh yes, it is going to be so much fun. And Sergeant Giratana came by to visit. Says hey, hi Retro Nerd Girl. Hope you and your guests enjoyed the watch along. Thank you so much. And let's see, Kimberly is here. How are you, Kimberly? Haven't seen you in a while. Holds her morpher and shouts, pterodactyl morphs into Pink Ranger MMPR movie uniform. Oh, cool. Let's see. And Kimberly also says, "Voice, there was a Jack Nicholson, the infamous Joker." Yes, and you could even say that this is a Joker movie because he really dominates this whole thing. We really get sort of a James Bond kind of Batman here, where we don't get like any character development really. I mean, you get to know a little bit about him. But he's still a mystery. He's still like a big mystery. But with the Joker, we get his origin story. We get like a full like situation with the Joker.
Totally, and it's Jack Nicholson. So you have like iconic Hollywood star power in the villain. This also features Jack Palance, who really comes from a different era.
Yes.
He was a bit, he's a man's man from the era before, the 70s. So he's in this. You have Kim Basinger, beautiful Kim Basinger. She is gorgeous, and she is gorgeous in this movie.
Who was also in a Bond movie. She was, I think she had,
right.
She was, well, it wasn't technically a Bond. It was Never Say Never Again. And, which is one of my guilty pleasures. I love that movie so much. Yeah.
Well, and also the casting of Michael Keaton. I wanted to point out that was contentious when it was announced. Michael Keaton was kind of a comedy style actor, rom-com territory. He was well loved, well liked. He was, I remember him from movies like Mr. Mom.
Oh yeah.
There was the Dream Team. What were some of his big movies before this?
Well, he did Beetlejuice just before this, and it's another Tim Burton film.
Beetlejuice,
as well,
that's right, 1988, I believe.
Yeah.
But he was technically rejected in the early, before the movie came out.
Yeah.
The word around the campfire was this was a disastrous casting. What are they thinking?
Oh, yeah.
Michael Keaton, it'd be like John Ritter or somebody.
Well,
cast
people
as-
actually protested, sort of like how they do now, like when Robert Pattinson
Yes.
became bad, and they were like, no, they were petitioning, no, we don't want him. But then,
Yes.
look, actors will, do perform. They will perform and they will be just fine. Now, before we go any further, I want
Okay.
to continue really quickly going through the chat just to make sure I acknowledge some of the people that are here. We got Sherry Lee in the house. Hello, Sherry Lee. How are you? Finally, I had some time to be here. Oh, it's so good to see you. And let's see. I know we got Keith in the house saying
What's up, Keith?
hello. And says that he hears me, he heard me, which is really good. I can hear you. And the Outcast Creative, oh my goodness, says, I was working at the cinema when this movie opened. We were booked out in advance over 4 weeks. Every seat sold before opening day. I got to visit the massive set at Pinewood Studios. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
Oh, wow.
You're a wealth of knowledge. Lance, you're incredible.
Wow, Lance, that's pretty fascinating.
Let's see. And we've got Boulder in the house. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. And we got Kimberly is so excited. She's got music and she's got bats. This is very, very cool. Very cool. All right. So we're done with that. And so, okay, yes, continue on. You were talking about the cast.
Right. Well, my main point was the news that Michael Keaton was going to play Batman was not well received.
Yes.
The public's, so the word was it was Tim Burton. So we knew we were going to get a dark, eccentric, artsy
Yes.
world. We were told this was going to be a serious take on Batman, which he's the kind of character that is a great superhero for a serious take. And you have to remember, in 1989, the public's memory of Batman as a character was Adam West.
Yes.
The 1960s, Batman.
Goofy, lots of bright colors and all that stuff.
Totally. It was campy. It was silly. It was super fun. Yeah. It was very popular. And I would say it has continued to age very well in our culture, even through 2024. That Adam West, you see him in Family Guy, the cartoon, makes appearances. Adam West's portrayal of Batman has gotten better over time. Yeah. But it wasn't a serious take. The way they were announcing this 1989 Batman leading up. And so people really wanted to see a serious Batman. They were looking forward to it. Really so the excitement about the serious, like this is serious, this is dark stuff. And we're going to cast Michael Keaton.
Yes.
It's like, wait a minute. That sounds like Adam West. It just seemed like a clash with what they were trying to do.
Yes.
And most polls that I've seen online, Twitter or X, Facebook, whatever, Michael Keaton is America's favorite Batman. Arguably so. Like, you can make a case for Christian Bale. You can make a case for Adam West. But there are some people that really love the Ben Affleck Batman. But Michael Keaton seems to be the world's favorite Batman. Not so much from the follow-up movies, Batman Return. From this one film, did he get the mileage? And I would say, they brought him back for the Flash and everything. That was the only thing that was worthwhile in that entire movie was seeing Michael Keaton again as Bruce Wayne.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think for sure, Batman, played by Keaton, is probably the most mysterious of all the Batmans.
Yeah, he's very detached.
Yeah. I mean, we only got him for 2/3 movies, but it was more like, he played the role, and I liken him to James Bond. He's already in place when we really get to meet him, and it's just he's more of a vigilante than a superhero.
Correct.
And that's what I liked about him. And I know a lot of people were saying that he was the biggest criticism today about this movie which I think is a little unfair, is that he doesn't match the idea or the ideal of what the comic books were. And I think at the time in 1989, you got to think about 1989. There weren't a lot of people who were into comic books. So
Yes.
if you catered to just people who were going to be comic book readers, you get some people to be interested in it, but it had to be fun enough for kids and families. And so for some reason, and this version of Batman, or this version of the storytelling, is fun. It's
Yes, it is
super,
so fun.
super fun. And I think all of the other things that, this isn't really Batman, because Batman in the comic books this is a different universe Batman. This is something that was, kind of the creation of improvisation,
I know what you
improvisation. It finally came out.
Yay!
Improvisation. And a lot of improvisation. And the person who was really mostly responsible for a lot of that, the driving force for a lot of that, is Jack Nicholson. And Jack Nicholson tried a lot of different things. He was not only just one of the main actors, he was also one of the producers, and made over $60 million off of this movie.
Yes.
So he had a lot at stake to gain, and he put a lot of this creative energy into this character, stealing the show for a character who's like, basically, we got this wonderful comedian, and that is also very good at improvising, just playing the straight guy throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
How do you get away with that? So yeah, it's just one of those incredible moments. Of course, you feel all of Tim Burton's creativity and his visual styling.
Oh
With
yeah.
a huge budget behind him, finally, because I think before then, you'd see a lot of the budget, but this was really like, oh wow, this is what he can do if you give him a lot of money. And so you get this like incredibly stylized noir kind of like Batman. It's just like,
Yeah, it's kind of
very,
a
very,
fantasia of a city and an industrial, dark, dank, dystopian Gotham City.
yes. Very cool. And I think that's even more powerful than what you would get from the comic books at the time. They just, the depth of all of this world was just so different.
Well, the comic books. I've read a lot of the Batman comic books, and they are freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
There is, I could see why, the comic book crowd is always nervous when Hollywood, grabs a hold of their thing and runs. But this is a success. If you want to criticize it for being a little bit of a breakaway from the comics, go for it. But the fact is that this works. This film works.
It does. Yeah.
Right. And Tim Burton gave us something with his own vision infused in it. This is something that a lot of people in Hollywood today struggle with. When they bring their vision to it, they tended to weaken it or downgrade the IP. So here's an example of where they're adding something to an existing IP and giving us something new and unique and equally timeless.
Yes,
So
from both what we know from television and a little bit from the comic books, making sort of this sort of hybrid with all of Tim Burton's kind of influence in there. I think it's for 1989, excellent. Now, you couldn't get away with making that kind of movie today, but you can in 1989. Perfection. And so let's see what the oh my goodness, you guys we got Charles Ratcliffe in the house.
What's up, Charles?
See you. And Boulder 2009, you are so sweet. Says I've not commented before, but I love your channel. Love this movie too. Oh, so awesome.
Welcome, Boulder. Thanks for commenting this time.
Yes, thank you for commenting. And just so wonderful to see you. And Abe is also here. Says it's a great film. Returns is even better. I kind of agree with you. My
Wow,
favorite is
okay.
Returns. Yeah, I really love Returns.
I gotta
And
rewatch it. I didn't like it as much at the time, but I've been going back and
yeah,
rewatching a lot of movies that at the time I thought weren't as good, and they're all so much better than I remember. So I have a funny feeling that one's gonna rub me
yeah.
the right way.
Yeah, yeah. I find that too, like a lot of movies where I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna watch it. And then when I do finally watch it, it's like, oh my God. Or just
What
taking
was I
another
so
look at
upset
a
about?
movie. Yeah, yeah, just taking another look at a movie. Like The Labyrinth. Like when I first
Mm.
saw it, I was like, okay, this is interesting, but Dark Crystal is really like my jam. But then
Yeah,
I went back and see, I was like, oh, this is so good.
yeah. Labyrinth is
So
it? That one aged very well, oddly
it
or
did, yeah.
unexpectedly, I should say, not oddly.
Yeah, yeah. And let's see, Kimberly is giving us some wonderful quotes here. And let's see,
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
yes, those wonderful toys. Let's see
Yeah,
if
it
I
is
can.
worth. Keith points out, and I might as well discuss it. As a superhero, Batman is unique for a couple things. He has zero superpowers. He's
Yes,
just a regular man. Some
yeah,
people jokingly make the point that his superpower is being a billionaire,
yeah,
which that counts for something, right?
yeah,
But also, so Batman really does rely on his own cunning, his own devices and gadgets, and inventions, right? That
yeah,
his wealth
yeah,
can produce. But also, he also has a policy not to kill anybody.
yes.
Batman is famous for going to great lengths to avoid killing people as a vigilante.
Except for in this movie and a couple of other movies, which I don't mind. I actually don't mind. I'm like, okay, about time. These guys are really
Interesting.
nasty. These are some
Metro
serious
wants
nasties.
blood.
Yeah, these are some serious nasties. I mean, do something with these guys. Well, it also is sort of like the how far can you push a man until he breaks? And then he's like, okay, that's it, all my rules are out of the window because you're such an awful, this is such a horrible situation. So I kind of like that in a way, but I understand why some people are want to stick to that rule, like Batman doesn't kill, and I get it
Well, it
totally.
could be. I mean, it's something that is kind of part of the brand. So when you're tackling it, you have to, you either ignore that part of the brand and emphasize other things,
Yeah,
which this movie heavily emphasized the art direction, um,
yeah,
in the comic book style scenarios. So there's
yeah,
enough of the brand here to absolutely stand its own ground, even with that rule being kind of bent.
yeah,
But other takes on Batman do religiously follow that rule.
yeah. Um, and I don't mind when it doesn't. Let's see. Um, and Kimberly reminds us that there was a Batman and a Robin and a Batgirl. I'm more the person who likes just Batman by himself, and
Yeah,
not
we
so
haven't.
much the
I would
other
say the
characters.
Adam West is the best one with Robin, right?
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
the only one where Robin seems like a equally good character. All the other ones, not so much.
I did have a big crush on Robin for a while.
From
It
the
was like when he was
1960s.
like, "Holy Batman!" I was like, "Oh, he's so cute."
Right on, retro. Yeah, my crush was Wonder Woman at
Oh
around the
well,
same era. Linda Carter. I was
mine
as a little
too.
boy. I was like, couldn't take my eyes off of her. I was just
Yeah.
amazed by her.
Well, I had a crush on her too, so
There's no shame.
I wanted to be her so bad. I would spin around forever and hope that I was going to turn. I was like, darn, I didn't turn. To Wonder Woman, darn. And Joseph McKay is here. So good to see you. Says hello all. Got a little distracted with doing a character write-up for a current episode being discussed on Star Blazers
Interesting.
2099. Cool. Hope you all get to watch it someday if you haven't already done so. Oh, okay. Yes, we have to find that somewhere. Let's see. We got Bonzo Kilborn in the house. How are you? It says Retro Girl, what's cracking? Sorry, I'm late. Oh, you're just on time. As we haven't gotten to the movie just yet. We're just getting started now. Let's see. And Bonzo says, I have always thought that the Batman would, at the very least, need some form of performance enhancing drugs to keep him up the pace that he does. He's still human. Yeah, I mean, they have Batman doing some really incredible things in a lot of these movies, but I think, you know, I'm not sure how I feel about the enhancing drugs either. Because then that would make him a little bit more than human too. I don't know.
Well,
Well,
whatever Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire used, those are the performance enhancing drugs. Just a little bit, just to get a little extra, you know.
just for a little something. And let's see. Charles Radcliffe says to have Batman in the Flash is awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think from what people have said, I haven't seen it, but he looks great.
Yeah, and what's funny is, you know, the present year Academy Awards, the best moment was Michael Keaton. Someone joked about him being Batman, and there was a close-up of Michael Keaton, and he's basically like, "Come at me, bro." That was the best moment of the Oscars. Here it is in 2024. Really that joke stemmed from a movie from 1989. I love it. Just showed you the staying power of Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah, it's incredible. Well, I think it's almost time for us to get started.
There's two other things I wanted to cover briefly.
Okay.
One, somebody said, who was it that said it? Somebody, I think it was Boulder, in the chat. They said that we should mention the production designer, and I wanted to mention two other people, and there's numerous, but I wanted to mention two other people behind the scenes that certainly deserve a little shout out for this movie if we're showing appreciation for it. One is Anton Furst. He is the production designer in Batman. He did a fantastic job with this film. I would argue that this film is visually iconic and up to the task of Keaton and Nicholson as your villain and arch villain, or your superhero and arch villain tandem. So you have this incredibly beautiful, amazing film in terms of the art design and production design. And then the other person I wanted to mention, this film, Batman 1989, follows the tradition. The last one we heard was Superman with Christopher Reeve, and John Williams wrote the music, the score. One of the most iconic pieces of music ever written is the Superman music by John Williams. And then suddenly we get Tim Burton, a newcomer, generally speaking, and Danny Elfman writes the music to this. And now I would definitely make the case that the Batman score is almost, if not as famous as the Superman music. When you hear Batman music, you know what it is. So this movie had it all.
Yeah. Yes. The music is so very iconic, and we did have a soundtrack by Prince as well. And I'm afraid that didn't hold up as well. It was kind of fun and exciting, Prince, and they were really cool songs. They're not his best songs, in my opinion, but they were pretty cool and interesting, and it just shows you, especially if you see the music videos for them, it just shows you the hoopla of the moment, that everybody kind of came together in this one moment collectively and just celebrated Batman, and it was fantastic. I absolutely loved the fact that we kind of let all of our differences, or whatever it was that was going on politically or happening in the world, we concentrated on Batman.
Yeah, 100%. And you're right, the Prince music has not really stuck around. But at the time, Bat Dance, which was the big song from the Prince score, was everywhere. And I was caught up in it. I remember we were at day camp over that summer. I was at day camp, and we would just blast Bat Dance and lip sync it, and you have all the little sound bites in there and everything.
Yeah, so many.
And the other one was Party Man. I really liked on that soundtrack, but in 1989, it was huge. It was absolutely huge. It was everywhere, and it was culturally assertive in its omnipresence. The Prince music.
Oh man, well, like every time that video, the music video came on, I had to sit down. I was like, "Stop everything! We got to watch this."
Ooh, I
And
got
we
a live
watched.
one here.
Yeah, and we sat down and watched it, and it was a spectacle because we have Prince in like half Joker makeup and half Batman makeup, and it's just like, what is happening here? This is weird.
Totally. And Prince, he was huge in the 80s. I mean, it wasn't just some singer back then. I mean, he was already culturally, apex type
Yeah,
of.
I think he had multiple albums by then. I think he
Yeah,
had like at
Purple
least
Rain. I mean,
3 albums had already come out, and so yeah, he was pretty iconic at that very moment, and still is. You say Prince, and people know who you're
people know.
talking about. Yeah,
Uh,
it's he's timeless, I believe. And let's see, we have just a few more that I wanted to highlight. Just because says that was one of the things I appreciated about Christopher Nolan's Batman sequels showed Batman getting medical reports pertaining to his wounds and their impact on his future. Oh, I love that. So I have to watch that again because after the first one, I really wasn't really in love with the different take on Batman because I think I really loved the uh from Tim Burton to like even Batman and Robin. I really like that movie even though it's a
okay.
hot mess. And like I love those 4 movies like that was in that kind of era. And they seemed fun and kiddie, very much for kids. Whereas when we got into the Nolan, it was like, okay, let's get serious. We're really this is a serious Batman, and so it was quieter. There wasn't all these like sound effects. It wasn't like all this hoopla going around. It wasn't action every 5 minutes. It was a little bit more serious. So it took me at a surprise when I saw it in the theater, and to the point where I hate to say this, I went to sleep. I took a nap.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so I have to revisit that movie because a lot of people have, really love Christopher Nolan's take on Batman.
I do,
And
yeah.
and of course a lot of people loved all the trilogy, and it just seems like I'm missing out on a big piece of pop culture.
Yeah, I
There.
definitely like the Nolan trilogy. I think as a trilogy, it's the best. As far as my
Ooh,
favorite all-time Batman movie, it's this one right here, 1989 Batman.
okay.
And I even didn't mind the Robert Pattinson The Batman. The
Mhm.
soundtrack by Michael Giacchino is actually incredible.
Michael
I thought
Giacchino,
Pattinson was pretty good, and I actually liked it was more of a comic book accurate take on Batman, a little bit more of a detective in that
Oh, okay.
movie.
Mhm.
So, and I even liked Affleck's Batman. Some people
Oh,
didn't,
I
but
really
I
like that.
did. I
I
thought
really
he
like.
was a really good Bruce Wayne in particular.
Yes, yes. I
You
think
know,
I think I actually think he's the best Bruce Wayne, from what I've seen. Um, and I love his take on Bruce Wayne, and
yeah,
I really
Pattinson was the
wanted to
worst
see
Bruce Wayne.
I really wanted to see his movie, so that's kind of
Yeah,
sad, but,
yeah. DC never got their act together in this MCU era, and they had Henry Cavill as Superman. You had Ben Affleck as Batman, and you had Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
I
You had
know,
a winner.
I
You
know,
had
yeah,
you had everything you needed to make this work, and they just didn't do it. They just
yeah.
botched it.
And not only did they have them, they had them at their prime. Like you can't do this like in like 5 years. You can't do this in 10 years. It
Nope.
had to be done then,
Yep.
and they dropped the ball
They
completely
totally dropped
and
the ball on
were
that.
like, "Oh
Boulder says
no,
that he worked on Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight in Pinewood Studios. How about
oh
that?
really? Okay,
That's
well let me
pretty
get
cool.
let me get down there."
Sorry,
Okay,
Rebecca.
it's okay. Javon it says, if my memory serves me, serves Affleck Daredevil had a scene with getting home after a fight and taking all sorts of painkillers seemed very likely. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that movie. I actually I enjoyed it. Um, I'm really easy to please with comic book movies. Let's see. And and Joseph says the Batmobile is of this incarnation made me fall in love. It
Oh
is a
yeah.
beauty. Yeah. I heard that it's a Frankenstein kind of contraption with all these different parts. One is like an airplane engine, and they have like
Yeah.
different parts from different vehicles just to make it look so unique. And it is. It's like one of the most incredible. I didn't mind the one in I actually don't mind any of them. They're all really
They're all
like
distinctive.
yeah, they're all distinctive, all like incredible. So
I even liked that. I had a weird and positive reaction to Robert Pattinson's Batmobile, which was basically just a 70s muscle car. And for whatever reason, I just loved it. It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
simple.
Well, I mean, hey, look, I do love a beautiful car, so I did not mind it either. And Joseph Gay says made me fall in love. I was turned off by the mobile in Christopher Nolan's version, but
It did
later
grow
only
on me.
it grew on me. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well
And
said.
Skywalker the Jedi is here. So great to see you. Says have a great stream, Retro. I'm about I'm about in about out and about and sending you well wishes. Thank you so much, Skywalker. Love you so much. I hope you're doing very well and you're in good health. And we must do something soon. I keep saying that, but it's just been so crazy. I'm sure it's been insane for you as well. And Boulder says, okay, is this the comment that you were? Oh no, this is another one. Okay,
Oh,
Boulder
trust is
says, that's when I became a Prince fan. Oh, okay. Interesting. And JK Knight says there
well,
was a
it says
Batman.
trust was his joint. What that means, there's a song Trust on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's one of the better ones on the soundtrack, Trust.
Oh, okay. Was that for Vicky Vale and their relationship?
No, I think it's actually playing in the background during the parade. It's
Oh,
like
really?
Trust, who do ya? Yeah,
Okay.
you know what? It is. That's what
We got Douglas to sing
no.
on here.
Yeah, it's the music that's playing when Joker's dancing during the parade.
Yeah. Okay, yes, I remember. And DJ K Knight says there was a Batman animated series and Batman and Robin series and other Batman cartoon series. So awesome.
The animated
And
series is unbelievable.
yes, and a Batman TV series too, says Sherry Lee. And let's see. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna scooch down a little bit so we can get going here. It's
I have
about
one
to
more
get
thing that I wanted to mention, and then I'll can it.
and which was the comment that you wanted to highlight? You were gonna talk about so I could get that one.
It was,
Boulder.
Yep, there it is. That's it.
I worked on Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight at Pinewood Studios. You're so awesome. That is amazing. Yeah, I'm sure that has some memories that you'll never forget.
Oof, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is amazing.
If you can or if you want to, Boulder, let us know what your job was. I'd be very curious to see kind of
yes.
what
What
angle.
did you do?
And only if you feel like sharing that. You obviously don't have to.
Oh, yes. And Charles Radcliffe says that Affleck is awesome as Batman. Yes.
I agree.
Yeah, and the best. Bonzo says the best Bruce Wayne, in my opinion.
Okay. Yep. It sounds like we're all in agreement with that. He was a great Bruce Wayne.
Yes, I agree with you. And let's see. Joseph Gay says we have to tip our hat to Tim Burton. His style was stamped into future incarnations of live action films to one way or another. Yeah, I believe so too. Like this
I
was
think
like
you're right.
this was like sort of like the building blocks. Like, okay, this is how Batman should look on screen, and they really have kind of continued it up until the Pattinson version. And I think it you get this dark noir, and I don't know, Gotham City is looking darker and darker and darker.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I would say that Christopher Nolan was the one that kind of comic bookized it. He tried to go for an ultra realistic feel of everything. And I would say it worked for his vision,
Yeah.
But I think most of us, the Gotham City and Tim Burton's Batman is the one that really stayed with us
It's
all.
iconic. Yeah, it's iconic. And then we had 4 movies of it.
Right.
So it's sort of like, okay, when you think of, Gotham City, you think of a dark city at night.
Yeah, industrial, over the
Yeah.
top, dark,
Mhm,
crime
mhm.
ridden, debris
Yeah.
everywhere, chemicals and
Yeah.
smoke. Like
Sort of
it's
like
definitely a dreary view.
sort of like a modern version of Blade Runner, like the
Yeah.
meaning like a present day version of Blade Runner, which is supposedly set into another future. And let's see. And Boulder says that Tim Burton's take on the character is my favorite. And so do you say that? Let me see. And Ben Affleck had the best Batman fight scene. Oh, that warehouse scene was sick.
Yeah.
But a lot of people had problems with it because he clearly like completely demolished some people. They will never walk again. And Charles says the Batmobile in this movie is built around a Harrier jump jet engine.
Ooh, I
Yes,
did not know
yes,
that. Harriers.
yes, yeah. It's really wild. And then they took like vintage lights from one of the vehicles. It's just really insane. Just beautiful too when the finished result. How do you do that? Like, how do you get parts of all these other things and put it together and make this
Well, I just
beautiful?
make a few phone calls and we get the team together.
Yes, let's do it. And Boulder says Burton felt more like a comic book. Yes, felt very comic book like you walked right into a comic book. And I felt like that's what the TV series did too. It kind of, with all the bright colors and stuff, that's what happens. Those older comic books, you would open them up and it would be like colors everywhere. And you're
Get
like,
lost in it.
wow, yeah, so beautiful. And then the comic books changed and got more dark and more noir. And it seems like that's, pretty much what they did for this movie. So it was a good kind of update on the character without
Yeah, it was
losing
like
the
a cartoon level noir though,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean, it
yeah,
was dark, it was edgy, there was crime and criminals, but it also felt a little nerfed. Not in a bad way.
no,
Not in a
no,
bad way, because I felt like as a kid, this movie was for me.
yeah,
And so the only thing that bothered me is there was no bullet holes. Like you'd have people shooting each other, and
yes,
you'd be like, ah, and you would never see any like. So that's the only thing that now when I watch it, I'm like, there had to be some sort of reaction.
where are the bullet
evidence.
holes? I want to see blood gushing everywhere.
That's right. It's simple request.
That's all we ask for, is some bullet holes in some people.
Retro wants Batman killing more people, and I want to
Yes.
see bullet holes.
Yes. Can we please just have that the bare minimum? And Joseph says, do you have a favorite Joker? Going for me, it was George Lane Cooper. I loved his mustache, and no one busted a ghetto blaster better. Ooh,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, I'm not sure which one that is.
he's the guy. I'll point him out in the movie when they go into the museum.
Okay.
And they play the Prince song, Party
Yeah.
Man. And the guy's he just bouncing around with this like boom box. It's great, man.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom down. Sorry, guys. I hope I'm not missing any important things. And let's see. Sharon Lee says Nicholson was great, but I thought Heath Ledger brought a more edgy dimension to it.
His Joker is probably the best one, just straight up. But that said, there's so many dimensions to the Joker, and I find things that I like about every Joker, including George Romero's from the 60s. There's certain things I like about almost every single Joker. So it's weird. All these Batmans were good and all these Jokers were good. That's very rare to have so many takes and have so many of them do so well on various levels.
Oh wow. Yeah, and I think it's really I haven't seen one I didn't like. That's for sure. That's all.
Well, Jared Leto.
I loved him. I did.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was. There's something
Interesting.
about it,
Okay.
and
All
I
right.
thought I liked the take. Let's see, and uh, Boulder says I was an actor stand-in.
Oh,
Okay, and also worked on some of the MCU films, early production of Zack Snyder's Justice League at Warner Brothers. Ooh, and in Levinson, and a lot of film and TV shows over 20 years. Oh, that is
wow.
awesome.
Well,
That's really
congratulations
great.
on a career there. That looks very robust and absolutely fascinating.
Yes, yes, yes. That is awesome. And to work on so
Wow.
many really awesome like superhero projects. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh man, that sounds like a lot of people
Yeah.
are jealous of you right now."
The next time I watch Justice League and I see like the crowd scatter, I'll be like, "There's Boulder! I see him!"
I see them. Yeah. Also, let us know if there are any movies where you kind of made it on camera or whatever. Because Stunt Brat usually is about here sometimes around now, and she'll tell us when she shows up in some of these movies, which is really cool. Um, and let's see. All right, so I think we're good. I'm going to read the last message before we get going.
And then,
Well, let's
all
Radcliffe
right, you got some
agrees with
backup
me.
there. There's,
Yeah. And Joseph Gay says so many great Jokers for live action. Heath Ledger is the gold standard for me for
yep.
animated series. It's hard to best Mark Hamill's Joker
He
classic
was
of the last.
fantastic, Hamill, as a
Yes, I've
voice.
seen clips of it. Yeah.
A couple things. One, don't forget the banner. I
Okay,
keep
yes,
seeing that
banner.
kind of
Thank
pop
you,
up.
Keith E,
Yep.
and thank you, Kimberly, for reminding me about the
And then
banner.
the last thing I'll mention, and it'll be a
What?
perfect way to end the discussion, I guess, and to go into the watch party itself. So I was 13 years old in 1989 when this came out, and I had lived through the Star Wars things, and Star Wars had really died down by then. And in 1989, Batman. This was the first film that I ever saw or I should say, this is the first movie where the trailer, where I experienced hysteria in a movie theater. I forgot what movie I was there to see, but I sat down. I remember I was with my mom, I was with my mother, and we were sitting there, and all of a sudden the trailer for Batman came on, and the crowd went crazy. And I remember I was alarmed. I was looking around. I was like, oh my God. And then the thrill, because when you're in a crowd like that, an opening night crowd, something that I love doing now, it's become like
Mhm,
part of my identity and tradition as a moviegoer. I love the opening night crowds for
mhm.
those types of movies. I loved it. There's a couple scenes there in the trailer. There's the scene where he grabs the guy and he pulls him close and he goes, "I'm Batman." And people were, they were losing their minds. And then he comes swooping down in the Batwing, and people were cheering and screaming, and it was like a Super Bowl crowd in this movie theater. And all I could think was, "Oh my God, is this awesome?" I don't even remember what movie it was, but I remembered that movie trailer. It was the first
Yeah.
time I'd ever experienced it, and there's a high you get when you're in a crowd like this, and that was the first time I experienced it, and it was for this movie we're about to watch.
Yeah. It was so incredible. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because it was pretty insane. We just had the great William Blake Hall walk through the door. Hello,
Oh, William Blake Hall, what's up?
William. Says, may as well hang out. I remember what a huge deal this was in 1989. It sure was. And Sergeant Garitano says, only Tony Todd just died Wednesday. Such a shame we keep losing more great legends. Yes. Really, really sad to hear that. A little heartbroken as well. Sick 2210 Productions is here. So still torn between Heath and Jack. Yeah. Jack just, he went for it. He really, really went for it in this. This could have ruined his career. It totally exploded his acting career. And it didn't. It just gave him way more
Oh, yeah.
layers to who he was as an actor. So that's incredible.
Yeah, because keep in mind, Jack Nicholson was really known as an edgy actor. Serious, edgy, with a dark side, explosive. So it really seemed slightly off-brand, and like you said, Retro, possibly off-brand enough to where it weakened his acting veneer, and it did the opposite.
He took a huge risk, and I won. Let's see. Boulder says, as a stand-in, you're not really in shot. It's just for the director to set up the shot without having to use the actor that is meant to be in that shot. Okay. That I see what you're saying. Yes. Because then they save
Thanks
time
for sharing.
and money. They save time and money by doing that. And I forgot about that. Yes. And let's see.
The banner came off, by the way.
Yes, I did pull the banner because I needed to do something. So, and before we get started, I wanted to just go through just some of the things that we were already talking about, just as a setup. Batman was released in 1989. And it's one of the few first superhero films based on DC Comics character of the same name, created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. And this is, of course, directed by the legendary Tim Burton. And this is the first installment of the initial Batman, 4 movie series that they put out. And let's see, this just to let you know, the top billing goes to Jack Nicholson. And there's Michael Keaton doing a fantastic job as Batman, and Kim Basinger playing Vicky Vale. We got Robert Wool. We've got Pat Hingle. Billy D. Williams is in this. Okay, Lando Calrissian.
Oh yeah, Harvey's dad, Billy D. with Lando, my man.
Lando, which I was really kind of disappointed he wasn't in the future films.
Totally, they had another one right there.
I know. I was like, oh no, why did they do that? And then we've got Michael Gough and the legendary Jack Palance. And so yes.
Do you remember him in the Academy Awards coming up on stage and doing one-handed push-ups?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Absolutely.
As an animal.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Just a fantastic actor that has been doing a lot of movies. So guys, get yourself all geared up and ready. Let me know if you're all ready to go. Let's see. I'm going to get the timer.
Grab your Brand X drink and get ready.
Yes, I have a couple of really cool things here for myself for liquids. I've got my stevia LaCroix berry flavor, and then I have a cup of Joe to keep me going. And then I've got some candies. I've got Stunt Brat gave me some really cute candies that I haven't tried them yet. So I have them. I have a couple of tasters here for me.
None of those came from trick-or-treating?
Yeah, I didn't get anything for trick-or-treating. Also want to let you guys know that while I'm watching the movie, I will not be able to see the comments, but I do have an accelerated computer right over here where I can sometimes glance to see it. I'm not sure because this is such a visual movie if I can go over there, but we shall do our best. And let's see, anything new over there? Yeah. And so
I'll try to keep an eye on the chat as well.
Okay, so before we get started, I have a special video for you guys, which will get us in the mood for the party. Yeah. Woo, 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 woo.
Come on, it's party time. Hear the alarms chime. Let's watch a movie. It's time to get groovy. It's time to party, party, party. We got to party, party, party. It's time to party, party, party. Party,
Yeah.
That was awesome. Here we go.
Here we go, guys. All right, we got the countdown ready. I'm going to count from 5 to 1, and then after that's when you would press play. We're also going to have a visual for you to follow of the movie, where you will see the subtitles and maybe a hint of the picture, so you can match it up to that if you ever get lost and are confused of where we are in the movie. So,
Bonzo says, Retro Nerd Girl's such an 80s kid.
yes, I am. a
Aren't we all
70s
at heart?
and 80s. Yeah, a 70s and an 80s kid. I have to say, both
My
of those.
70s roots have been coming out the more I get older. They're creeping in there.
Oh yeah. They have to, especially my undenied or undying love of disco. Whew, love me some
Yeah,
disco.
that's what I'm talking about. Love disco
also,
music.
like,
People think I'm
70s
crazy, but I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, and 70s rock as well. Oh my goodness, so good, so
Yes.
good. All right,
70s.
so guys, get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and while that's happening, I'm going to catch up with you guys. I'm actually going to readjust this screen. There we go.
One thing I wanted to point out too, don't forget the banner if you can get it back in there.
Yes.
It's bad time. Mark D with a C is here. That's what he's saying.
What? Mark D with a C. Good to see you.
I was going to say, I don't know if anyone noticed, but Retro's song while we were waiting was "Wait Till They Get a Load of Me," which is based on a line from the Joker from this movie.
Yes,
right?
yes. Thank you so much
Get a
for
load of me.
reminding everybody about that. I hope you guys can see that. And let me catch up to you guys while then.
Does it say Pat Hingle? Billy D. Williams? Michael Guff? Jack Palance? Are we timed right?
I'm catching up. Let me know when you get to Marion Doherty.
Casting by Marion Doherty.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. I think I'm there.
Music by Danny Elfman. What a great score this is.
Yeah.
Prince.
So beautiful.
There you go. Production design by Anton First. Phenomenal job.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness. I love how this starts. It starts really, really dark. Like you can barely make out these. One thing too though, in the movie theater when this came out with this music, it just pulled you into the magic.
Oh yeah. Well, and they spent so much time in their marketing buildup with just this logo.
Yes.
Everywhere. So here we are. We're finally here in the theaters. We've all packed in to watch this, and we spend our opening credits kind of navigating close up this giant logo of Batman. It's pretty cool.
Oh man, look at Gotham City. Oh my God. Wow. It's intense. Yeah. It's like a city upon a city.
That's the same set, I think, as Back to the Future, right? In
that looks like it. Yeah, that little park, little center area. It looks like it. So if you know Batman's origin story, this looks like his like this is his family.
Let's see. Yeah, this is his origin, or kind of origin moment more than his whole backstory.
They initially was gonna have a 14-year-old girl play the prostitute.
What?
Yeah, because they wanted it to be like the taxi driver.
Oh,
I
jeez.
was like, "Oh, man, that's just too much."
Questionable judgment there.
Yeah, yeah, like, calm down. But they wanted to show them the putrescence, the lack of morality in the city.
Right, right. So this movie did win. It was nominated for and won Best Art Direction, and rightfully so.
Oh,
It
yeah.
beat it beat Glory, the Civil War
Ooh,
movie, which I love that movie.
yeah.
Driving Miss Daisy, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, and The Abyss. It beat The Abyss.
It beat the Baron Munchausen? That movie was insane!
Yeah, yeah, it beat it. Batman,
Oh, wow! I
Anton
love that
First.
movie so much.
Yep, Anton First and Peter Young.
See, it's not this wasn't, Batman's story, but it kinda makes you think that in the very the way it's kinda plays out.
Right. No big loss. These guys.
Batman, what give me a break, will ya?
These
It's so, like, over the top. Oh, and Batman is right there. Oh my god, I love it.
guys.
It almost looks like a universal monster the way he's, like, in the background.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my god.
Something up here with us.
Look at the way he does that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's like Dracula.
A little bit.
Yeah. Where does he get those toys?
And this was the big moment in the trailer, man.
Mm,
What are you? Yeah, I still to this day, every time I see this movie, can hear the crowds in that theater going crazy for I'm Batman. Just that one
yeah,
line.
yeah. So
Just
cool.
what a character can do on screen to a crowd. Like it has stuck with me ever since.
This guy is, like, lost it. He's like, "Oh my god, there was a bat creature that just grabbed me."
And then there's Lando.
Well, 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 what have we here? Oh, man.
Mayor Borg.
He's very reminiscent of, Mayor Koch from back in the day for New York.
Oh,
Mayor Borg, yeah.
and now she's a real model, right?
Yes, yes.
Jerry,
Mar
what was her name?
Jerry Hall,
Jerry Hall. That's right.
yeah, and she was either married or the girlfriend of, Mick Jagger for a very long time.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. He had a very interesting accent that a lot of people loved.
And this is where you get a little bit of classic Jack Nicholson type of character.
Yes.
Don't flatter yourself, Angel. So this also gives you a clue that he also sees himself as the most important guy in the gang.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of Tony Montoya, Scarface. Just a little bit, like, especially his come up, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, you know, a lieutenant who thinks he can run the whole show.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, this is a pretty funny line. Like, you look great. He's like, I didn't ask. I love how he gives her the nod at the end too, like, you look good. This guy's not having a good day.
He's a total mess.
Oh, and as a kid, you know, even to this day, this guy who plays Eckhart just reeks of like scumbaggery.
Yeah, yeah,
He like is my image. Like, this is what a corrupt scumbag looks like.
yeah.
Like that guy right there. I still like, you know, the noir. They're all wearing trench coats and fedoras.
Yes.
You know? Don't be writing this stuff, Knox. He was pretty good. Who is the actor who
Yes.
played Knox?
Oh, let's find out. William Wootkins.
Yeah, I thought he did pretty good.
Mhm.
He was kind of the comic relief of
Oh.
the film.
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. No. Sorry. That is Eckhart. Robert Wool is his name.
Robert Wool. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the only like other funny person besides Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Jack Nicholson was funny in like a dark, you know, comedy way. He was more of your pure comic relief style character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are just classic comic book and noir shots. You know,
Yeah.
looking down and then looking up as with the brim of
I
the
love
fedora.
it. Yeah, it's a like a callback to the 50s, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Steam in the background. Hey, God, I
What's
brought
your
you a
little
snack.
snack?
Yeah, there's actually 2 pieces of bread in that. And see, again, we get another hint. You ought to think about the future. You know, this guy Jack Napier has plans, you know, to take over the gang.
Yeah.
And then this scene shows you that he's got a loyal surrounding of men.
Yeah.
Didn't you guys feel bad for Bob in this movie? The way Bob goes.
Yeah, well, because he was very loyal. And he just at least I'm trying to remember how he goes, but
He at the end there's a mistake and the Joker goes, Bob, gun. And Bob, you know, quickly shuffles in and hands him the gun and he shoots him. And Bob goes down. And as a kid, I was like, oh man, maybe he was a criminal, but he didn't deserve to go that way.
yeah, he's your boy though. That
Yeah.
just shows, yeah. They do that. It's a trope in a lot of movies where the bad guy kills one of his own, and even
Yeah.
sometimes his most loyal.
Thank you, Joseph. Bob deserved better. I hope everyone in the chat agrees.
Yes.
It is. It's just one of those funny things as a kid when you're watching, like, oh man, I really hate the way that guy went out.
Oh, they just compared him to Count Dracula. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Have you seen
definitely.
this man?
There's definitely a strong 50s flavor going on through here. I just
Yeah.
love it.
That's
Just
the
love
noir side of this that he's stuck with.
Yeah, I love it.
It's kind of a hodgepodge of 50s noir and 70s grit that they're mixing together here. And then you throw Prince in there, and you got a little dash of the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim Basinger is just gorgeous in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
I mean, just classic Hollywood blonde, you know.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say
I think.
at the point that she showed up, she was sort of like the new Grace Kelly. Sort of like,
Oh, really?
that really like timeless kind of beauty, but also like a really good actor. And we like find out that she's an even better actor later on.
Yeah, she
After
was good.
this.
I had a huge crush on Kim Basinger. She was in this, and she also in The Natural. She played that like femme fatale, and
Mhm.
She does have a little bit of an edginess to her that you know, the Hollywood starlet doesn't usually like. She has a little bit of a darker side to her, and she really showed us that in
Mhm.
The Natural.
Yeah, I really loved her in this silly movie called My Stepmother is an Alien.
You know, I
So
have not
silly.
seen that.
It's super, super silly. Dan Aykroyd, but it she was fantastic in it. She had so much whimsy.
And then here we finally meet our crime boss.
Yeah. Another like, I would say relic from the 50s.
Yeah, he's definitely not a 70s guy. He's more of a, I think, 50s and 60s actor. I think you're
50s,
right.
60s, yeah. Definitely.
He's kind of got that cowboy persona.
Yes.
And I love how he quickly nets Jack into his trap here. Always cool right there.
Yeah.
Jack, that's the way to go. And then here we get our little glimpse of the rivalry over the same woman.
Yeah.
You know, she can't help but look over, and he, of course, is like giving her the eye. And then, but the boss knows, he knows what's up.
Yeah.
And that's a great clue for
Yeah.
viewers that that Napier may not have. He may not be one step ahead of this guy.
Yes. And also, again, I always pull this back to Scarface because that was one of the biggest, that movie in the 1984 was really, really like hit on that particular thing. It was in 94 or 83, not sure. 83.
1983.
Oh, sweet.
And now this scene, it's funny. When I was a kid, I didn't get it, but right here, he's like Jack, and he's like squeezing him on the shoulders.
Yes.
That's what Jack impersonates later when he's talking to Bob.
Yes.
Don't forget, you're lucky, Jack. If I was mad, I'd be like, dude, that's my deck of cards you just flung in my hat. I'd be so irritated with that. And then here we know for sure that the boss is setting him up. Get me Commissioner Eckhart.
Yeah. They're setting
Oh,
him up.
Lieutenant. Lieutenant Eckhart. Yeah, I thought Palance and Nicholson had a good little 1-2 punch to give this criminal underworld some the kind of toxic masculinity we want.
Yeah. A little bite so that way we feel like, okay, there's some real danger here. These are very important men in their world, their underworld, and they're, there's a rivalry there. There's, some they're about to break their truce, if you will, and things are about to go down seriously.
Yeah.
The big guy is about to make a big move.
Well, and here we have a big contrast, right? We are introduced to Gotham City by the criminal underworld. Batman is in it. Then we switch to the police station. Then we go into the crime den. And here we have this big cut. And now we're in a billionaire's mansion. And everyone's wearing tuxedos, and the women are dressed in high-end dresses. And here we have our introduction to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
They spent some time with him as Bruce Wayne as a like a philanthropist. He's an altruistic, good guy billionaire. And I love the way Keaton plays him. He's very kind of aloof and detached. like everything he does seems to be at odds with his surroundings. Like out right here, Alfred's cleaning up after him all the time.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't act like a billionaire. He acts like a working class man who's in a tuxedo. And I
Yes.
think that endears us to him a little bit. You know, like he doesn't
Yeah.
know where to put his drink. You know, that's, you know, he acts like he doesn't know the protocols,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas, you know, Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne, they really focused on him playing the role of a billionaire, of a playboy billionaire.
Oh, okay.
You know, Keaton is a little bit more of a likable billionaire, like I said, like more of a working class vibe to him,
Yes.
who happens to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
And these
I
are
love
obligatory
that.
scenes. You know, the big gambling. You know, they're like there's the governor, there's the district attorney, and you know they're all like kind of mixed together here.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe how much that one mayor looks just like Koch.
Oh,
Mayor Koch from back in the 70s.
you know what the worst ripoff was? Do you remember they made Roger Ebert a character in that Godzilla movie in 1998?
Oh, I don't
He was like
remember that.
Mayor Ebert or something like that. It was an actor that
Okay.
looked just like Roger Ebert.
Interesting. Yeah, I have to watch that again. I'm not even sure if I saw. Did I see the 1989 Godzilla movie? I'm not sure if I did.
It's like awful and yet oddly slightly fun for me. I know some people
Okay.
hate it, but there were certain things about it that I kind of like, that guilty pleasure level.
Oh, I have to see it then. Yeah,
Yeah.
I may have not seen it.
Matthew Broderick's in it. Ferris Bueller.
Oh yeah, I think
Ferris
I did
Bueller
see
fights
it.
Godzilla. That's what they should have just called it.
Yeah, I think I saw it. I just fell asleep. Sorry.
Oh. That's 2 movies you fell asleep on.
Oh, I know. Oh, Moonbeam is here. Hi, Moonbeam. So great to see you. Chef
up, Moonbeam?
Nation is here. Hi, Chef Nation. So glad you can make it. Says, good afternoon, beautiful people. Quote from this movie. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Ah, one
Great
of my favorite.
line.
Yeah, one of my favorites. And Mark D with a C says, most people were upset that with Keaton as Batman, what Mr. Mom, but he pulled it off. This Bruce is fantastic. Still too damn scrawny. I thought the costume made up for his lack of bulk. I think so too.
Mark D with a C, I think you're right on with that.
Yeah, I think it worked. I think it worked out. I love that room, by the way, with all the armor in it.
Yeah, so
Ooh.
they always say, whether you're a writer, screenwriter, or filmmaker, that the way you introduce your characters is so important. And I think they did a great job here. You literally have him in a room full of suits of armor, which is exactly what the Batman suit is.
Wow.
Right? And it's in this huge room. So you really get a feel that this room is not a rich man's room. This is a billionaire's room. This is,
yes,
you know, where we stay. This man must have been king of the Wicker people.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is a great introduction for Bruce Wayne.
Oh, so awesome. It's like having his own private museum. So cool.
Yeah. And there's a line coming up that, for whatever reason, it has always stuck with me. Where he's like, you know why the rich are so weird? He's like, because they can afford to be. And every time I see a rich person doing something strange, I'm like, because they can afford to do it. You know, they can afford to be. They were right in Batman. Give Knox here $1,000. That was kind of a funny line too. He's like, how many? 6 boxes of champagne? He's like, yeah, 6.
So I love this transition.
Yeah. Well, it shows you, you know, this is, again, part of the introduction to Bruce Wayne. He's a man of gadgets and deception. He keeps an eye on things. He's one step ahead.
Yeah.
That's what all of this tells you. And then, of course, that's a segue into the Batcave.
Oh, yeah. All of these little TV sets with monitoring everything. So cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is like
I do want that setup
in the 80s.
I want that to be my setup for.
Well, like, how do we know it's not?
Well, it's close. I do have an auxiliary computer over here, and I do have another computer over there. So it's close. It's close.
So there might be an alter ego for Retro Nerd Girl.
Oh yeah,
Does she
super
moonlight? Do you moonlight as a vigilante?
I'm a rather frail person, but I do
That's
monitor
what
things.
superheroines want you to think.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Let's see. Yes, isn't that a cool like throwaway line? Like Joseph Begay mentions, give Knox a grant. Like just give him something. Like,
Yeah, give him a grant. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
I wish I could do stuff like that. Just like be the benefactor for somebody's dream. Like I just give them like a couple $100,000 for their movie or for their.
Retro, I'll take it.
Yeah, okay.
This is great.
I'll
We've been
set
ratted
up.
out here, boys. Watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, so he knows it's a setup.
Yeah, this Axis Chemicals plant is fantastic.
Yeah.
What's the movie they reused this set? Was it Terminator?
Oh, it could have been Terminator or Demolition Man. Definitely.
Oh, Aliens.
Oh, aliens? Okay.
This is sub-level 3.
Okay.
The Xenohive from Aliens is this Axis Chemical, the same set as the Axis Chemicals.
See, he's creating his own demise in
Create
all of
chaos.
this.
Yeah.
He's hoping to create a diversion, but instead he's actually creating the method for his own.
That was the one scene I always kind of hated. The cops are just kind of standing there in the back. They're just kind of like standing like within feet of each other and shooting. Man, this is now we did get a Batman intro scene, but it was against some small time, petty thieves.
Yeah.
So this is Batman's introduction as, going to work. He's at work now. He's up against some big dogs. And this is a great scene too, because it shows you he's not with the police, he's not with the criminals, he is a man in between these two worlds.
Yes. So well said. Thank you, Doug. I love when you get into it like that. Let me see. Sherry Lee says, awesome. Someone just stopped by. Have to go out, but I'll catch you up later. Okay, you have a good one.
Bye, Sherry. Thanks for coming by.
Yes. And Dark Knight says, quick draw McGraw. Oh man. Oh, in the face. I always like that moment when he's just like,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you give it to him. Those bad guys. There's some nasties, so get them.
Yeah, it's efficient, right? It was very efficient.
Very efficient. He pretty much ran into it. He's in a tight spot.
Yeah, there's the catwalk, and Commissioner Gordon's about to get him surrounded.
He's like,
he's going to kill Eckhart here.
I got it. Perfect view.
Saves Eckhart. Jeez. I love that look. I love this look. He gives him the side eye. It's like, you're going to put me down? That's just pure Jack Nicholson there. And this is what you want. This is Jack Nicholson against Batman, right? He's
like, nice outfit.
Nice outfit. And it's funny because that's
on.
kind of a trope too, right? When Superman comes out of the man, that is a nice outfit.
Yeah.
So someone always you have to comment on it. I think it helps break the self-awareness that you have a person who we're supposed to take seriously dressed like this, right? Think about the future.
That was
And
one
here's
loose
round 2
end.
with Batman. That always looks pretty painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark D with the C points out that Batman actually had a very tactical approach to this battle. He took out the goons of Jack Napier one by one before, getting to boss level here. And then, of course, this scene is great because Batman tried to save him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I always loved this as a kid. It's so weird. It's like they played it in reverse to get the bubbles to go to still.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Hold it right there. And then the classic Batman escape. You spike a smoke bomb. Who is this guy? I love it. That's great. This is great stuff.
Yeah. I love the sound effect of him going up, ascending upward.
Yeah. And that's a great shot with the Axis chemical sign.
Yeah, that is great.
Like, Star Wars, some of your great movies do a good job at this. They really have good art direction. And you can almost see, like this scene here with the hand coming up with the green fingernails and the really white skin. I mean, an artist conceptualized it, drew it out. Yes. And you could tell that the filmmaker's like, I want that filmed. Like, they stuck to their guns with the art direction here.
Yeah, yeah. Really beautiful. I love that. Just the hand coming out, like.
Yeah, with the cards floating around.
Yes. I love it because it almost reminds me of like the Terminator coming out of the fire. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Yeah. And Joseph Gay says, "Gotta step out for a bit, do some grocery shopping for tonight's anime night gather, and be back in a bit. But be listening at least." Okay, well, yeah, we'll have a great time shopping.
Well, Joseph, have a good. It was great seeing you. We'll see if you can make it back by the end.
Yes. Yeah, I got to do some shopping myself.
For tonight's Anima Night Gather, that sounds pretty cool.
I know, that sounds really fun.
Joseph, did we get an invite or what's going on here?
It's private. Oh man. And Mark D with us, he says this scene is wonderful. It shows how cool the Batman is taking out the goons one by one. Yeah. He's very strategic.
Right. Now, so here it's always sometimes when you're a writer and you're trying to write for action thriller, sometimes the romance scenes can be difficult because it's a different gear. You got to shift to a different gear here. And what they did is they kept him. Look at this. He's still confused. This is what I mean by this working class vibe. He seems like he's not really into all of this, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I've never even been in this room. He is us, in a sense. We don't know what it's like to be a billionaire.
Yeah. I do love that. And I love also too, like how they just end up like eating him with
this is like the butler's kitchen.
Yeah.
And he was a great Alfred.
Oh, yes. Yeah. He was Alfred for all 4 movies, right?
Was he?
I thought so. I think so. I can remember. I think so. It's fantastic. This is Michael Goh.
That's his name?
Yes. One fantastic Alfred. This is true.
Joseph Begay says he thought about it. It's an open invite. We just have to make it to Anchorage.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Joseph. That is
I
so
will look
sweet.
up tickets now.
That almost sounds like like Bruce Wayne saying, "Just give him a grant."
See, and she says it here. This house, all this stuff, it doesn't seem like you at all. So this seemed to have been done very consciously. And you get a sense, he goes, some of this house is very much me, and we all get a sense that he's actually talking about the Batcave.
Batcave, yeah.
The dining room is not you. So I think this was in 1989. This was a way to make Bruce Wayne accessible to
Yes.
us.
Yes.
Christopher Nolan didn't care about that. He's like, we're going full on billionaire.
Yeah.
And
I
I
like
would
that
say,
too. Yeah. I like
yeah,
that.
it
I like
works.
that
And
approach.
also, America is less of a working class. I mean, it's still a working class country, but I feel like there's definitely a more of a white collar vibe. So maybe the pure billionaire feel is a little bit easier to swallow. This was a great introduction to the Joker because they don't show you him.
Yeah, yeah. All you get is his frantic, persona. I probably would have just ran out of the room. Like, okay. We know how this goes.
I love this line. He's like, "Do you see what I have to work with here?" And he points, and there's like giant like tools that you would use on like a tree or something. Yeah, there's like giant saws and stuff like that
And it's
sitting on
all
that cliff. It looks
bloody.
awful. He's in some like abandoned, warehouse. Not the place you'd want to go to for surgery.
Yeah. Oh, just terrible. That is like classic Joker, though, to like see something terrible and start laughing uncontrollably. Yeah.
And retro Bobby EM is here.
Hi, Bobby EM. So good to see you. Says hi, nerd girl. Woo! So good to see you. Wait, I think it's been a while since I've seen you hang out with us. So good to see you tonight.
Well, you picked a good one, Batman,
Yeah,
1989.
Batman.
So Vicky Vale, she got her man.
Yeah, she did. I like the way he kind of plays with the idea of kissing her, like, what,
Yeah,
am
yeah.
I gonna give every like, oh man, that's cute. Oh, this scene. Oh, don't you
Yeah.
just love the outside of his window, the two
I do.
statues?
Again, that is an artist conceived this, and the filmmaker stuck with it. I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
That
this is
Art
great.
Deco feel too.
Sugar bumps. Jack. Oh, thank God you're alive. He's just not pulling that off. And I always, as a kid, loved this because I would strain my eyes to see the Joker face. And if you look, it's there,
Yeah.
but it's definitely in the background.
Yeah, it is there. It had to do with the makeup too, because Jack was allergic to the regular makeup. I think silicone it was.
Oh,
Or it was no. Silicone was what they used, but he was there was something he was allergic to, and may have been the spirit gum. So they used a different type of material for his prosthetics, and then it just created this interesting glow.
interesting.
So
Jack
cool.
is dead, my friend. I love Jack Palance's reaction. He's like like, oh, what have you done? But Nicholson
The eyebrows.
Yeah, Nicholson pulls off his intro perfectly. And he gets a little goofy here by, shooting him behind the back. He adds that sort of like wild theatrics to it, and it's a good touch for his
Yeah.
otherwise serious, gritty character. Ah, what a day.
Yeah, I do feel like his performance created like a sort of, I wouldn't say like a blueprint, but there's certain things that he does that actors after him always did playing the Joker. So I think he added like one little extra, like something that people like have always translated that means the Joker as a performance.
Yeah, well, I think Nicholson added that seriousness to the Joker because before him it was really George Romero's Joker from who was great
Oh
in
yeah.
the
Oh man.
1960s show, but he was definitely more of a comedic performance, I would say.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh, Jack Nicholson, he brought that 70s edginess
Mhm.
that him as an actor he's known for um,
Yeah.
into it, and
Like
I think what's that?
the pure fear of a criminal mind, you know?
Correct. Yes, I agree. And I think the challenge for him was how do you integrate that serious, gritty, don't mess around with me type of persona with the theatrics of the Joker. And Nicholson did it. Wait till they get a load of me.
Yeah.
Oop. Oop. So weird.
Also, I mean, very much is tapping into uh
Well,
The Shining, like his performance in The Shining too.
and thank you, Moonby. I kept saying George Romero. You're totally right. Caesar Romero.
Oh yeah, yeah,
If you say
yeah.
it wrong once, if you don't catch it, you're stuck.
Yes. I
Thank
knew
you.
what you were talking about. I
Yeah,
knew
yeah. I
exactly
think I said
what
it twice now.
yeah. It,
Who's George
um,
Romero? Where's that name coming from?
um, he's a, I believe, director.
Oh, Night of the Living Dead. Yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
I mixed up those. And this is where she gets a little hint that maybe there's more to Bruce than meets the eye. Yep. Thanks, William Blake Hall. You're exactly right.
Night of the Living Dead, yes.
Yep. Yeah, he's the zombies. I somehow my brain landed on that. You'll never believe what happened to me today. I like how he doesn't really react to this much. He just continues to sit there in the room by himself.
That makeup is so silly.
I love it. Here, the crime boss is, so they're trying to get a realistic crime boss scene with a little touch of the comic book atmosphere.
Mhm.
What's with that stupid grin?
This isn't his
Life's been good to me.
human, and this is his fake human look.
Yeah. Well, Tony, I love the way he plays this here. Nobody wants a war. So we've seen him as dangerous because he shoots people with a gun, but here's where we get this is more of the Joker, right?
Yeah.
He's electrocuting him alive with this hand buzzer. The old town tonight. So there you go. They've made their transition to pure Jokerhood.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
He's so good.
This is a great mix of Nicholson, the serious side of Nicholson and this bizarre Joker character he's getting into.
Yeah. and it's so funny because he's got a mask on, of course, as the Joker, and then he wipes
Yeah.
away. So it's a mask on top of a mask.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, love that.
Then here's him impersonating Jack Palance. You're my number one. I like how Bob doesn't react at all to this. He just kind of waits it out.
He's truly sick.
Okay, grease him now? I like how he reluctantly agreed. Grease him now? Okay.
He's so unhinged.
Yeah, and he's laughing at his own joke over and over again. Just can't get enough of that joke. God, remember those old filing systems?
Oh my God. Yeah. I think the last job I was at that had them was like back in 2008 or something.
Oh, wow.
We're still
Yeah,
doing
those were
it.
the cards that in Ghostbusters that
Oh yeah, they fling up and they're like,
yeah.
yeah. Now, I still use cards, but I use them differently than this. That's for sure. Just for for little notes and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I still use index cards for certain things as a writer,
Yeah.
but like a library relying on them. It's funny. You used to have to go to school to learn how to use that system.
Yes.
They taught you in
Yes.
school.
Yeah. Or you'd be crazy like me and create your own weird system.
Now we're talking.
But they were really like a nice, like they were all wooden, and you like really could put a lot of files in there.
Yeah. So here you have Vicky Vale following Bruce Wayne,
Yeah.
Spying on him. And, he leaves a couple roses in front of the Monarch Theater. And, of course, this is her taking interest in him, trying to figure out what it is he's hiding from her, since she knows there's more to him than meets the eye.
Yeah.
A typical problem for heroines.
So sweet.
Yeah. But of course, in this case, like you said, it's an endearing secret.
Yeah.
Or, tragic, but endearing to her on a level.
Yeah. I mean, we don't get a direct tap into his psyche at all, except for maybe he's like you and I. He doesn't he doesn't sit and eat at the long table. He doesn't spend a whole lot of time there.
Right.
He barely knows what to do, for these situations of being a billionaire, except for like creating his own man cave.
Right.
And so there's a lot to identify with him on a humanistic level, but it isn't like we don't get that typical story where we learn about him psychologically. We guess a lot of the way through.
Right. We're kind of in the dark with him. You're totally right.
Yeah, I love that, actually.
So here, I always like this scene because this is a scene where, I feel like, the comic book scenario gets a little real, right?
Mm,
You have these mimes. Everything seems silly. He's patting the girl on the head. But you see them slowly surrounding this public announcement from city officials. And I love how Batman here is like not impressed with this guy. This guy's like waves at him. He's like, dude, move along. Bruce Wayne is not buying.
There's another one coming.
Yeah, very clever how this was introduced from a cinematic standpoint. Like that scene right there is where you really sense that these guys, they're not just random street mimes, they're forming a perimeter.
Yeah.
Ooh. My son just hit a double. I'm just
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, he's at a baseball tournament. I've been watching him on this Game Changer.
Oh, awesome. Oh my God. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah, well, he's pitching tomorrow, so I will
Okay.
be at all the games tomorrow.
Okay. Wow.
Time to pay the check. The pen.
I love that part.
Yeah. And this is great too. This also gives you a strong, powerful hint about Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
You know, when people hear gunfire, they freak out, panic, and that's normal. He doesn't move at all. He even gets a bullet that grazes his shoulder. No reaction out of him.
Yeah.
Joker waves at. So that's really cool. That's a pretty interesting Again, so detached.
Yeah.
His Bruce Wayne. You know, his mind is always preoccupied in all of these scenes.
Yeah.
It's just a very interesting way to play him.
Yes. I don't know what it is about it. It makes me feel like he's, more realistic that way.
Yeah.
Like he's
My wife would argue that I'm always like that. Hey, Doug, blah, blah, blah. Huh? What? Your mind's always a million miles away.
Yeah, because like this is a problem he needs to solve. So everything else takes like the second place,
This town needs an enema. It's so funny because I remember I was like, what's an enema? So this movie taught me what that was, and it was an answer that I was not A, expecting, and B, I really didn't want to know about this.
Oh, man.
It is interesting how the Alfreds of all the Batman are always kind of pushing Batman toward relationship status.
Yeah, because that's what you hope for your kids, right? You want them to grow up to live like normal lives.
Right.
But he's got
adjusted.
Yeah. He's got this hankering for going out there and getting after criminals. In not just in any other way, but just being Batman, being this vigilante at night. So it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for relationships unless your family is involved in the same kind of thing.
Well, it's the classic superhero problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you date girls and things like that, you don't know which one's going to stick. So how much are you going to tell her? How much are you going to reveal? If she's the one and you share this world with her, right? Mm-hmm. Now she's going to forever be a target. So you put the burden of hiding your identity on them. And, Superman ran into this problem with Lois Lane.
Yeah, it's always doing that.
Right. And it was really dealt with at Superman 2. He has to give her that memory erasing kiss. Remember that?
Yes. In many ways, I like that. And then I also hated it too. I was like, I understand why, but I also like, because once they were all, once they became a couple, the story got a little stale. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about Superman 2. I watched that movie religiously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As a little kid.
But I do like them together, but also it's like, I wanted them to stay together.
Yeah.
I was torn.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I agree. There was a lot of pros and cons there. But but yeah, it causes a problem for the superhero or superheroine when there's a mate there, a boyfriend or a girlfriend for them. Jesus, marimba.
Look at the music that they're playing.
That's like this violin music. She's about to trade up.
It's called Beautiful Dreamer.
Oh,
It sounds a little bit like the music that they played for King Kong when like the old version of King Kong.
yeah.
So he's like learning about all these people, seeing their faces, and this I never noticed before. He's got the whole place littered with all these people that he's been staring at.
Right. But from a writing standpoint, you're also introducing Joker as a romantic rival to Bruce Wayne, because this is where he's like, ooh, look at this one. He's now adjusted his goals to include wooing Vicky Vale.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes him him and Batman aren't just rivals ethically. They're both interested in the same woman now. But you're right that he does have cutouts of all the people in Gotham, and a lot of them are on the floor. So that shows you his attitude about these people.
Ooh. And some of them are on the table. So I guess maybe he's like, I still want to play around with these guys.
I always found this to be kind of a funny comic book style strike from the Joker, And this is interesting how the filmmaker captures it, right? You get a split screen from the cameraman's view. So she's on screen A, which is not being used. And we see that she's something's not right with her, and then she just starts laughing uncontrollably. And now she's losing it. Now she can't stop laughing. And her feet go up. She's laughing to the point of no dignity. And my child, even as a kid, I always got a kick out of this because I'm like, the Joker took the time to produce this video.
Yeah, I know.
There's production value here. New and improved Joker products. Love that Joker. He's thought of taglines. He's been using brand X. You see what I'm saying? Like he put a lot into this commercial.
Yeah.
Only your Undertaker will know for sure. He's love that Joker.
Oh man. So good. I love that little piece to it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, Darth Plato just walked in the room. Hello, Darth Plato.
Simple request. Can we just start over from the beginning?
You're so sweet.
No problem, Darth. We'll just hit reboot.
Mark D with a C says the Joker could get a job producing YouTube channels. I know, right?
He's got some style there. And that's classic noir stuff. The spiraling newspaper right at the camera.
I love it.
Yeah, and this is hysterical. It's funny. My parents used to laugh at this really hard.
Yes.
And I just sort of thought it was funny. But as an adult, you realize you just can't look unpresentable like this.
Yeah.
Look at these poor people.
Yeah. Yeah. They can't wear makeup. They can't wash
Yeah.
their hair. They can't do any of that stuff.
They just look awful.
So good.
And then here we get a sense that, City Hall is feeling the pressure. We're working on it.
Why didn't they keep him? I really loved him.
Yeah, Billy D. Williams. I think he was criminally underused in the 80s.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie Nighthawks?
No.
It was one of the first rated R movies I ever saw. He was in it. I think Rutger Hauer was in it. I need to rewatch that.
Okay. This is him trying to be human.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it came out in 1981. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone, Rutger Hauer, Billy D. Williams. I mean, that's a pretty big triplet right there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the museum?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the Joker. This is the Joker's courtship of Vicky Vale. The best way to woo a woman: gas everybody, and then sit down and try to charm her. Only the Joker would come up with this.
Yes.
And this is one of the few times in the movie where they really feature the Prince soundtrack.
Yes.
Party Man.
Because we haven't heard it. I don't think just as of yet. And she's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna hang out with Bruce Wayne."
Right. This is the old switcheroo. He's losing her, or that's what we're supposed to think for a second.
She's like, yeah, he's late.
And I love the hint. The colors on the bow tell you who this gift is from.
Yes, green and purple.
Like,
Classic
that's not from
Joker
Bruce.
colors. Yeah, urgent.
Urgent.
Written in crayon.
Yeah, like a child wrote it.
And she's like, what is this?
I think if they were to film this today, they would probably handle her different. She kind of just sits around and she's like, "Oh, I'm safe." She lets everyone else pass out.
Now, is this like knockout gas, or is he like killing people?
I don't know. I feel like he's willing to kill people.
Yes,
I mean, that guy's dead. Yeah, some of these people fell wrong. This is great. This is a great Joker moment, right? Him and his goons, and the beatbox guy, the boombox.
Yeah, the mustache.
Lawrence?
Oh man.
This is great. Now there's a scene here where Jack Nicholson, he's impersonating one of these figurines. And and then he swings his hand to knock it over. That looks heavy the way it falls. I feel like he must have hurt his arm whacking that thing. Because the way this thing falls, it looks like actual like metal, like heavy metal. Joker was here.
So cool. But so bad because you're not supposed to do that to art.
Well, by today, Joker, these guys would be climate activists.
Yeah.
Yeah. No more oil. Now this scene right here. He whacks this thing. I mean, that must have hurt. I don't know why that always hits me funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly what climate activists do. So you guys are on the side of the Joker when you act like this.
An insane psychopathic
Yeah.
killer.
Oh, this was funny. The guy's about to take a machete. Right here. I kind of like this one.
It's of course the one that's like the most grotesque.
Yeah, yeah. And I like how let's do with the boombox. He is now he's playing like romantic music, and I always got a kick out of Nicholson's performance here. Like he's trying to be charming
But he's
in a
scary as
way
all
that's
get up.
totally not going to work, right?
Yeah, he's totally scary.
Yeah.
Like this guy in the back, his face is in the pasta plate, and he's not getting up, so he's not breathing.
Okay, yeah, I think he killed these people.
I think so too.
Now that's good work. The skulls. And I feel like that's commentary on some weird level of war photography.
Yeah.
I realized why I was destined for greatness.
He's trying. This is his effort to be charming.
Well, yeah, charming in a way that's doomed to fail. Because only fear would work on anybody at this point. But it's also laying out his ethos, right? This is his philosophy.
Yeah.
You must be joking. Do I look like I'm joking? We're artists. And to me, this was such a bogus philosophy. I make art until somebody dies. I mean, what kind of? It's just ridiculous.
It's a brand new.
Ooh, I'm in trouble now. He plays the in trouble boyfriend. She's really a sketch.
Oh, poor girl.
And what's I have this funny feeling she's a model.
Yes.
They didn't do too much to change her appearance. So
No.
something tells me that she's like, I don't want to look too ugly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? How about a little you and me? I thought I was a Pisces. He's really good through this whole
Yeah.
sequence here.
See, he was gonna do that to her face too.
Yeah. Here's your spin-off from Wizard of Oz. I'm melting.
The music is perfect too. I love that. He's like, "Oh no, it's gonna be in my face."
Yep. Yeah. And this is a great rescue scene for a superhero.
Yeah.
With the music coming in, he swings in, he gets Vicky Vale, swings out of there. Classic, almost a swashbuckling escape. And then, of course, the Joker's famous line, where does he get those wonderful toys? And I think that's our introduction to the Batmobile, isn't it?
Yes. Well, did we see it? Oh, yeah, no, yeah. This is the introduction to the Batmobile. So pretty.
Awesome. Yeah, this is one sexy automobile.
Yeah, the sound too. It sounds like a plane taking off.
Yes. Yeah, that Batmobile. So I remember when I was a kid, a couple of years after this movie came out, the actual Batmobile was toured, and I got to see it in real life.
Oh, really?
It was at a like a Parks and Recreation thing. They had it parked out there, and there was a huge crowd, and I got to see it up close. It was really awesome.
And another thing too, it's so long. It's like it's like super extra longer than normal cars.
Yeah, it is not. Yeah, I don't think you could just drive it on the street that easy.
No.
And this is good stuff. I mean, this is what you want. You know, you got the Joker cars, which are all the same and disposable looking, purple and green. The cops show up. It's a mess.
But they may actually get some of the criminals
Right.
in the scene. Uh-oh.
I always love this. Shields.
Yeah, I love this too, yeah.
Yeah, because you're thinking, what, you're just going to leave it there, right? I mean, if you're watching.
It's like, oh no, they're going to get the Batmobile.
I love those shots. Yeah, and this has this weird shell protocol.
So, you can't touch it. So good. They're not supposed to be shooting because they're Vicky he doesn't want her dead.
How much do you weigh? I like how she lies about her weight here.
Yeah.
Yeah, those shields are awesome. Yeah, Mark D with a C. Batman gets stuck in traffic too. You know, he's just like the rest of us. Very relatable. DJ Play Nice stopped by to say hi.
Oh, hey, DJ. Oh, there you are. DJ Play Nice. So good to see you. Only by to say hi and thumbs up the stream. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. By the way, if you're watching and enjoying or just listening, click the like button. Let the algorithm know that retro is at it again.
Thank you so much, Doug. That is so wonderful. I sometimes forget to do that. Thank you. And Mark D with a C says, at least he didn't ask her age. Yeah, that would have been a very, very bad thing.
No, I don't know, man. Asking about a weight, that you are pushing it.
Yeah. How much do you weigh? Ooh.
Yeah. Now, Batman will give him a free pass. He was asking for legitimate reasons.
Oh boy.
Oh, this guy was great.
Yes.
Love this dude with the double swords.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as a kid watching this, I thought this guy was extremely aggressive. Like he was just pounding away with these things. Yeah, right there. That's a great shot. And that's classic Batman, right? He doesn't have any superpowers. He just has to do it from skill and technology.
Wow, that is one heck of a kick.
Yeah, he just, that's almost like the Indiana Jones shooting the guy.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. It was a pretty high kick. He kicked him like in the upper part of his chest and then like knocked him into next week, but back right down on the floor. Like he rolled it like a total flip. It was beautiful.
And here now they're showing us the Batmobile is, I'm sorry, what?
I don't think I've ever seen a kick like that after. I don't either. That's like exclusive to this movie.
Yeah. You weighed more than 108. I called her out on it.
You're not supposed to admit that you're supposed to.
You got to let a girl have her secrets.
Yeah, you got to let her have her secret.
And yeah, oh, by the way, this music score is one of my favorite on the entire soundtrack. It's called Descent into Mystery. It's got this real ominous choral in the background. It's got this racing violin. I freaking love it.
Yeah, and this is like a typical Tim Burton forest here.
And Mark D with the C says, you know, before Elon Musk, we had self-driving Batmobiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, this score right here is absolutely fantastic.
So, yeah, it's wonderful.
Descent into Mystery, and it's great film work. And some scenes like the camera's angled, and it's you get a sense she's not being abducted, but you get a sense that
No.
she's strapped into the ride, and and she's going where he's going, and she knows it, and the answers will come soon.
Yeah.
She hopes, but right now she's with Batman, and they're racing away.
He's curious about him.
And she's
He's
trying to
like,
get a look at his face. The secret entrance. I love it. Remember in the 60s, you'd have that sign that would drop?
yes. I remember seeing this and I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. I couldn't get enough of it. She's in the Batcave.
But for a girl, this is not a bad first date, right? I mean, this is not bad. Just the right amount of danger.
Well, she was just with somebody who was a psychopath. She gets rescued, but then she doesn't know who she's being really rescued by.
Right, but there's a sense that he is the good guy, even though there's a dark motif around him.
Yeah. Real bats.
Right.
But he keeps one of the bats in a cage. So weird.
Yeah, the weirdest part I thought was him sleeping upside down. Remember that scene when she slept over his house?
Well, I got the sense that he was doing some exercising.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, so he's doing his morning calisthenics, to stay in shape.
I should have tried that when I was in my 20s. If I took someone home, sleep upside down.
We're like, okay, we're gone, you weirdo. Yeah.
But then she would always wonder, was he Batman maybe?
Yeah. Or she'll be like, oh, can you put another one right next to yours so we could do
Like,
that?
oh, it didn't work. It failed.
Actually, if you get somebody who does that, you know, that's a keeper, actually. Yeah, that's why I think she's like a little bit like the Joker and Batman have always been tied together.
Well, from a Heroine's Labyrinth perspective, there's a close relationship between the Minotaur and the masked Minotaur and the Beast as ally. And if you shift focus to Vicky Vale here, she's got that exact dynamic going on. There's a masked Minotaur who seeks to possess her, and then you've got a Beast as ally, who obviously his animal totem is the bat. So there is that dynamic alive even in a secondary role here.
Yeah. I guess he knocks her out and then takes her home. What a weirdo.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
Hey, what's happening here? By the way, I'm going to try one of Stump Brat's little chocolates that she gave me. The white chocolate one. Yeah. I'm going to try that right now.
Standing by. Yeah, he took the film. So he knocked her out and he groped her to find the film. Jeez.
Wow.
How is that, Retro?
Really tasty, really good. This is the white chocolate one.
What is that brand called?
This is Lindt chocolates.
Oh, that's some of the best stuff.
So good. He looks terrible.
Exactly. Yeah, Mark D with a C. I agree with you. The detective angle that's very prominent in a lot of the comic book runs for Batman, largely absent with the Chris Nolan film. It was much more of a cat and mouse, more of a more of a militarized Batman, I would say, rather than the detective. I actually thought Pattinson's Batman was very good on the detective side. He was very slow moving. I actually liked it. It was a little bit of a long movie, but he did a good job with that Batman.
Yeah, I think what I would have loved is that if we could have gotten his solo movie and figured out like to actually see him in action because I did like what I was getting for him as Bruce Wayne and kind of like trying to figure out things. He just looked like he was getting it, and we just didn't get the rest of
Well, I think they're going to
it.
do a sequel for the Batman. Is that what you were talking about?
Oh, no, I was talking about the Ben Affleck one.
Oh, okay, right on.
I thought he nailed something really interesting there.
So here they're
Oh, this is so good.
right. So Batman and the Joker faced off over or around Vicky Vale at the museum in their costumes, and here it's Bruce Wayne, unmasked.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say unmasked because he hasn't revealed his identity, and she's ticked.
Woo.
Oh yeah, this always cracked me up where he like mouths the words like he's practicing right here. I'm Batman. My life is really complex. Oh my God.
I mean, you have to give him credit for wanting to actually come out and say this.
Yeah, he's struggling with it mightily.
He's actually like having feelings for her and trying to be honest for, and unmask, if you will.
Yeah. He's trying to reveal his identity.
Mm-hmm. He's just messing it all up.
Yeah, this is not very good. No,
She's like, oh man,
all right, look.
Oh boy.
He was like right there. He was right on the precipice. He's like, I love that. I love this. Another rooster in the hen house. And they both make the same comment about her apartment. Lots of space. And there's a couple pretty iconic lines coming up.
Yeah.
You ran off with that sideshow phony. Vic.
Oh, she died off screen.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
She just grabbed a bowl of popcorn.
I know. Why was that just hanging around?
So odd. Well, Miss Vale, another rooster in the hen house.
He seems to be a little excited about that too.
He's got his boombox guy.
He's great. That mustache is epic.
So I never knew this. I just looked it up, but take thy beak from out of my heart is a quote from Edgar Allan Poe, Nevermore.
Ooh. There's so many iconic lines in this.
Yes. Yeah, never rub another man's rhubarb. The tray might work. It looks like a pretty small gun, like smaller than a 45, like, or like a 22 or something. Like it maybe it would work. So right here, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Let's get
like
nuts.
that line, everyone knows that. Even the Lego movie had a "Let's Get Nuts" remix song.
Ooh, that line.
Ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Never rub another man's rhubarb. Who writes this?
Yeah, I think that was another one of those improvisations by Jack Nicholson, because he did a
It
lot
might
of
have been, because
improv.
that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Some like fourth grade level poetry there, and he walks out.
He's so strange. And Bruce Wayne's gone.
Yeah. So we know he's fine.
He stopped the
Yeah,
bullet.
that must have been a pretty good medal for that tray. And the Joker must have used a pretty small pistol. Oh, I remember my dad hated this scene because she faints. He was so irritated with her fainting.
Yeah, yeah. It's so comedic too, because it's like the hand comes up and then she's like, "Wow!" She just gets like knocked.
Yeah, it's got like dead flowers in its fist.
I mean, she's seen dead bodies and all sorts of stuff, and this is getting her.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
why would this? She's been in war zones. She should be able to handle a Joker prank.
yeah. That chocolate was so good. Stunt Brat, she's just so good at giving me the cutest little gifts.
Stunt Brat
Thank
just
you.
showed up.
Are you kidding me?
I kid you not, Retro.
Stunt Brat, I just had one of your chocolates.
You literally 5 minutes or less ago.
Oh my God. And it's so tasty. Let me see if I can get the wrapper. It's it was the white chocolate one, the little mini. So delicious. Thank you so much. Oh my God. That is so wild. I think maybe your ears were burning because you were like, oh, somebody's talking about me. They mentioned me. Oh. See, yeah, he wants Bruce to stop this and like start building a family and a future for himself, you know? Uh-oh, Joker has infiltrated the channels. Again, wearing human makeup or trying to look as human as possible.
Sorry about that. Someone was at the door.
Oh, sure, yeah. Joker is gonna dump 20 million in cash.
Did you see Mark D with a C also pointed out what you were talking about? New York Mayor Ed Koch.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
He
we
looks
Mark,
just
we
like
were
him.
Retro was actually pointing that out a couple early on in the movie how he was like a clone.
Mhm. He looks just like him. He's a lot taller, but I look a lot like him.
Yeah, and this is your classic comic book villain taunt, right? I am honest about who I am.
Yeah. I
Let's
didn't
see
notice
if
this,
you.
but all of the bats in the background, he's just
Mm.
like hanging out with the bats.
Yeah. Well,
So
someone's like, "What does a
creepy.
bat cave look like?" Like, well, we got to put bats in it.
Yeah, I mean, you need that. Oh man.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
like this because it really creates the sense, he's ready. He's ready to fight. He's got to fight this guy.
Yeah. But whatever it is that he's doing is he's trying to uh claim that he's for the people.
Right. Yeah. That classic again. Villains. Yeah, I'm on your side.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys $20 million.
I'm just slightly homicidal, but I'm a good guy.
Yeah, yeah. But meanwhile.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try another one because the last one was so good, and this is probably the last one I can have. So I got this one. I don't know if you can see it, but it's the milk chocolate one.
All right.
Yeah.
Stump Rat, you are here to witness live the chocolate tasting.
The chocolate tasting, and it's so yummy. Like I've never tasted chocolate like this. It's so good. Lint's great. It's a lot different. Oh, now we're going back in time. Now we're
Okay, so
this is truly his origin story.
well, I would say origin moment
Oh,
because
okay.
it's
Yeah,
a
we don't actually
defining
get a
moment.
story.
Right, because I think you also pointed out correctly earlier that this movie really tells you a lot more about step by step how Joker was formed.
Mhm.
And that was a good observation because they do. The only thing we really get about Batman is a single moment in time in which it's packed with a lot of information.
Yeah, including this too is also about Joker.
You are totally correct.
Hijacked by the Joker. No other film does this with the Joker.
The pearls and the popcorn. There's Bob as a young man.
Yeah, Bob.
What do you think about this actor who plays young Jack Nicholson?
Excellent.
Ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
And a dead ringer for sure when they smile.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah. And then with the eyebrows.
The
Perfect.
eyebrow, yeah. See you around, kid. So the Joker saved his life, and this is how Batman repays him. Yeah, so obviously for storytelling. I also always had a little problem with Alfred unilaterally blowing his cover to a journalist. I just thought that was not the best judgment. I know they set it up,
yeah,
with the idea that he wants him to have a relationship, but Alfred, what if I break up with her in a couple months? Like, do you understand? You can't just bring anyone in here.
Yeah, incredible. It was one of those moments, though. I would have loved for her and the two of them to come to the agreement of doing it instead of just like, okay, Alfred steps in.
Yeah,
But I think for the sake of time, I think this was sort of the shortcut.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But I do think from a writing point, you probably want a more direct way that Bruce Wayne reveals himself. Like they were on the verge of it. He wanted to.
Yes. We know he wanted to. And it just would have been great if he had just come out and said it at some point later.
Right. Rather than having someone else do it for him. I just thought it was odd, and I thought it really wasn't Alfred's call.
Yeah.
Not to be tough on Alfred, but
No. But I think it spoke less of Batman or Bruce Wayne to be able to just come out and tell the truth, because he was about to, and you give him credit for that. But it was like it would have been great if he could have said, "I'm Batman."
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's ways to do it.
Yeah.
That great shot, by the way. I've had to rewrite scenes where I feel like my lead character or one of my lead characters is too passive.
Yeah.
And that's an exact example of how you might have solved something for your story, but if you stop and think, your character is too passive in the scene, and that's a perfect culprit for that.
Yeah.
Here we go. He's going in. This is kind of a side mission for Batman, right? The attack on Axis Chemicals.
I guess so, because I guess the big thing is definitely the big parade at the end,
Right.
which
Does
I
Batman
was
show up here? Yeah, and I always noticed that thing rolled under the Batmobile. The way they
yeah
filmed it.
yeah, and he killed all those people. So
Yeah.
just
Oh
FYI,
yeah. True.
he killed all those people. So they're all dead.
Those are great shots.
What an incredible building too. I love that.
Yeah. If I had to complain, and again, I don't really have serious complaints, but Batman wasn't very involved in that. That was really a car drove in and blew it up, and a car drove out. I mean, if you think about it from pure action, the Batman didn't do much there.
Yeah. Oh, my right is Integrity 101 in the house. Oh my goodness. Hey, Integrity. And that's right.
Oh, right on.
Jay is here. Hi, Jay. How are you? So good to see you. I was always curious about how these watch parties went. I never catch them live. Oh, well, welcome. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, so I hope you are doing well.
Yeah, and we're at the so this is the big set piece finale confrontation, right? You've got Prince playing Trust.
Yeah.
And this is one of the best songs on the Prince soundtrack. It's more of a pure song, whereas Bat Dance is kind of designed purely for a commercial, catchy way.
Yeah.
So this is great. He's blasting Prince. He's coming in. You know, the city gave up on the 200-year anniversary, but not the Joker. The Joker cares about the people. He's going to put on this party anyway. And he's going to dump, $1 million onto the crowd.
Yeah.
And he's living up to what he said he's going to do. Obviously stolen money, but they're dumping cash on the crowds. This always made me think of Pinocchio, where they bring all the boys to that island, and then they all turn into donkeys.
Yes.
And I always thought this was good Jack Nicholson. The dancing, the music, like this, they did it a lot right here.
And it's so much fun. Like he's having a ball.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, it's a legitimate party atmosphere for this. It looks like a set. It looks like this was filmed on a set.
Yeah.
In order to deliver Gotham City as perceived, as imagined by Tim Burton and crew, and Anton First. And also, instead of getting like the streets of Chicago, like we got in the Christopher Nolan movie, or Pittsburgh. Yeah. So this is great. I love it.
Yeah.
And this is the second time they kind of let Prince's music play.
Yeah. You gotta love Jack Nicholson. I mean, he's really having a ball at this thing. He's like, yes, I'm the king of the party. He's loving all the attention.
Totally.
The Joker is.
Yeah. Well, and I would argue that it's rather iconic imagery now. The big glowing 200 float with Jack Nicholson in the purple trench coat on. I mean, with the giant balloons up above. I mean, that's iconic in and of itself. What an entrance, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want out of the Joker.
Plane. Oh my God. Yes.
Right. So you get the Joker entering, it's like two pieces in chess moving onto the board at the same time. The Joker comes in on a float throwing money, playing Prince, and here comes Batman coming in the Batwing. So you've got two great entrances. This is what you want for the final showdown. I'm giving away free money. Who do you trust? I like how he's making fun of him for his comic book costume, but he's also dressed in one. I love the Batwing.
Oh, it's so good. I love it. I remember when I saw it, I was like, that is so cool.
And one of the greatest shots of all time in cinematic history is coming up with the Batwing and the moon.
Yes. Oh, perfect.
Here's where I relieve you, little people, of the burden of your failed and useless lives. Just terrible disgust. And then here, he's going to slaughter everybody.
Yes. By making them laugh to death. Let's see. Yeah, Integrity 101 says the Batwing is awesome. Oh my God, isn't it? It's fantastic.
It is.
And Sunbrett says, in 1993, I got the job as Vicky Vale on the live Batman show at Six Flags. All
who
the
said that?
cast from the Six Flags in America met in Houston to rehearse. What a nightmare. Oh no. Of course, that was Sunbrett.
Oh, wow. Vicky Vale, right on, stunt.
Let's see. And she goes on to say, a SAG actress quit, but the other one stayed, but got burned. Oh no, that's terrible. And Mark DeMedici says, Batplane rules. We need to finish building my Lego kit. Oh no, yeah. Is it the Batman, or is it just a general one?
There's a Batwing one.
Oh. And DJ K9 said, this was great, RNG. Yes, we still got a little bit more left.
Yeah, and by the way, this is one of the best. This is another one of the great soundtrack tracks on the soundtrack score.
Okay.
It's called "Attack of the Batwing," and it's just great
Oh,
Batman.
yeah.
Ba-da-ba-bam, bam. Poor Knox.
Oh no.
Way to go, Vicky.
Maybe she could drag him into the car. I forgot what happens there.
Is
so cool.
Says Knox is dead. Really? I thought he's too nice of a character to die for the. That's a great shot. Too bad it didn't last longer. Here's the Batwing making quick work of all these Smilex balloons. My balloons. Yeah, and he blames Bob for that. I'm still mad at the Joker for killing Bob here.
Yeah.
Those are my balloons. Great shot. These are, I mean, I'm so glad they won an Oscar for this.
Yeah. That float is something else, though, right?
It really is. Yeah, Bob is the best henchman. I hated this, the way Joker disposes of him here. I mean, it's not, but here's the other thing. It's not Bob's fault. Like, what's Bob going to do to the Batwing? Right here. There's Bob. Gone. You know, I just don't like it. Joseph Piguet says, justice for Bob is forthcoming.
I know.
If this all took place today, Batman would leave a hashtag, for Bob.
There we go. There it is. Woo!
Boom!
So much fun.
God, you dream of filming a scene like that.
Well, I remember when being in the theater and seeing that, I was like, woo! It just
Yeah,
was
didn't
like,
people cheer?
yeah. It's just one of those beautiful moments, like, the hero is on the job and then he's back at it again. Takes a moment to readjust.
Looks
So
like Mark
great.
D with the C is also frustrated with Bob. He feels he definitely should have known, and I know he's kidding, but a giant plane with wire cutters on the front.
Yes.
And that's pretty cool.
Integrity.
That's a little bit more Jack Napier right there. Come on, come at
Yeah.
me.
And Integrity says, I saw every Batman film in theater, and this one is still my favorite. Oh,
Totally. Yeah, as far as a theater experience, nothing. This was incredible.
he fires directly on him.
Well, but I think he's aiming for the float.
Yeah.
Now, this is a funny pistol, but I hate that this thing took down the Batwing.
Yeah, I
I
know.
kind of would have been happier if he brought out some like giant like bazooka.
Or even a teeny tiny one. Just for the ironic nature of it. Like a teeny tiny blowgun.
Blowgun. Batman, you've turned off your targeting computer. What's wrong?
I'm feeling the force.
Exactly. Negative. It didn't go in.
I always love this moment because it's kind of like iconic that they're on this church steps, I think. A great many movies.
James Bacon is here. What's up, James?
What? Bacon is in the house.
Better with bacon.
Woo.
Bacon retro dance.
I know.
A bat
So
dance.
good to see you. Oh man.
Yeah, Joseph, EMP would have been a good one too.
Oh yes. So Joseph again says maybe it was an EMP gun that disabled the bat when instead of a large bullet. That makes sense. Actually,
right.
That really does.
I always got a kick out of the Joker when he's fake charming. He's like,
Yeah.
I've got to get you to the church on time.
Yeah. He just killed he's just tried to kill like a whole bunch of people now. He's just alone with Vicky Vale. It's so scary.
I wanted to point out the Joker's like, be at the roof in 5 minutes, and then he looks up and he calculates the stairs and he goes, better make it 10. That is what cost him the battle. If he stayed with 5 minutes, he would have got out of there sooner.
Yeah.
So he stayed up too long and it ended up costing him.
Batman's wounded a little.
Yeah, I like that though. That's kind of part of what makes Batman interesting. He can get hurt. You can wound Batman. He is just a man at the end of the day. So I always appreciated the fact that Batman gets bruised. He can break bones. That when he gets hit, there's real damage accrued there.
Yeah,
and this is kind of a classic trope. The Cinderella, the shoe, the slipper.
Yes. We got help on the way, but maybe it's not enough of the help that we need.
Right.
The poor Batmobile is all torn up. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's not the Batmobile. That's
the Batwing. I knew what you meant.
Yeah, the Batwing. Whew, Batmobile is still good.
Yeah, that took a long. I should time sometime how long it took them to ascend those stairs. Film time.
Mm,
It
okay.
might have been like 2 or 3 minutes of film time for them to get up there.
Yeah. But, along the way, it wasn't boring.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
it certainly didn't like get old or anything like that. I guess I'm just surprised that they took the time to really, go up that staircase. I like how he pretends like he's like, oh, like he's surprised the
Yeah.
bell fell.
Oh, the bell.
Oh my goodness. Batman survives the attack.
Yeah. And they're locked out.
Right. Which is a great storytelling way to explain why the police could not intervene right away.
Yes. And this gives Batman a little bit of a chance to be anonymous still.
Right.
Because if they caught up to him, they would reveal, they
Right.
would find
He's
out.
still technically, a wanted man.
Mm-hmm. Ah, searchlight.
Setting us up for the final scenes.
Yeah.
I love this too. What the Joker says. I have a bat in my belfry.
I haven't gotten there yet. Hold on.
Oh, no. Yeah, I said it early. He just came up through the trapdoor.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. There we go.
There we go. So now it's always interesting because the Joker is not very tough by himself when matched up with Batman, right? It's all the antics, it's everything else around the Joker that makes him so tough. So they're giving us the fight with these guys.
Yeah.
And the Joker himself is not as threatening. He's just menacing, Vicky Vale with this theatrical, silly dance.
Yeah. And she's just like a doll, like she's
she's like limp and not into it. She is not participating. Joseph is still a little upset Bob's not there.
All right,
with
Bob. Oh yes, Joseph.
I'm with you, Joseph.
I mean, Bob was with him since the beginning.
Yeah, since the flashback.
I know.
Beauty and the Beast.
So great. They're dancing. The music is all like
waltzy.
Festive waltz, and then these guys are fighting to the death.
See, I don't mind that they throw a little of those in because they make him much more of a prankster in this, right?
Yes, yeah.
Heath Ledger's Joker was less pranky, more of a pure anarchist.
Yeah.
Whereas I like that they kept the pranks with this Joker.
Yeah.
And such classic pranks, like the bang flag out of a gun.
Yeah. It's like, I think I have one of those guns too. Like it's a little bang flag.
That's great.
He's just being super silly out there with dancing with her. It's so funny.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. From a filmmaking or storytelling standpoint, the Joker can't do much to menace Batman. So they just have him pulling pranks and menacing Vicky Vale while the people who are more capable fighters are giving us the action.
Yeah, that guy just died. Okay, I put that on the table.
Yeah.
He just killed that dude.
Well, I guess there was no on-screen death, though, right?
Well,
They
yeah,
were
you
all
didn't
implied.
see. You knew it happened, but they didn't show you the actual blood and guts.
Right. I'll rip their lungs out.
He's just
I always
really
hated this
like,
too because I think like I feel like as a guy,
yeah,
you would know she's not into this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Now she's like gonna come up with a plan and like, oh.
Yeah. Like I feel like he would doubt this, but I guess if Kim Basinger's making a move on you, you wait it out. That's a
I
rule
know.
to live by.
I know she's kissing his arm, and then she's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you wait that one out. You see what happens. And then here enter Batman. This is what I'm saying. Like the Joker can't really do much in a fight.
No.
I made you, you idiot. That wasn't easy to get over. Don't think I didn't try.
He's just serving it up right
Yeah, the
now.
Joker has no real response to the physical violence.
Yeah,
And again, he resorts to a prank.
yeah.
You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? Oh, and the chattering teeth.
Oh, wait. He tries to give him a good.
Yeah, the one time he tries, it breaks his own knuckles. I was just joking around, Batty. I was a kid when I killed your parents. Like that. Yes, he would.
He's
Now he's
just,
got him.
yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Look at him. He's so good.
See, now, remember what I said when he's like, be here in 5?
Yeah.
He has to wait for them to get there. So if
Yeah.
if they showed up 5 minutes instead of 10, Joker would
Yeah.
have been out of there. His plan would have won. It would have worked.
Yeah.
They don't make them like they used to. Hey, Betsy, I get a kick out of him over here.
I know. He's so crazy. All right. They're looking for their guy.
Yep, here comes the cavalry. We get
Integrity says Keaton and Nicholson were fantastic in this movie. I think so. They're just really great.
Absolutely. And like I said, he's a little bit more comedic here. And he does do a good balance of edgy, gangster and just like, slapstick, prop comedian. Sometimes I just kill myself. They're like, quit horsing around. Let's go.
Ooh.
Batman's always got it one ace up his sleeve. And so that, Chris Gore had a great discussion on the death of villains and how falling into abyss is a classic death for villains.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we get that here, with the Joker. And he was talking about how that's why it was such a tragedy that's how Han Solo died, because you don't die by falling into an abyss unless you're a villain.
True. Yes. Yeah. And that's something I was going to do, and probably you guys will see it. Have some talk about villains and the falling of villains.
Yeah, looks animated, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think it looks like they did a little bit of that in the end. Oh no! Come on, get one of your things going.
Come on, bat. Come on, bat.
Battering. Yes.
Whew. Close
Nice
call.
close call. Yeah, nice close call.
You got me. Who's got you? That's later for retro.
Yeah, later on.
That's when Superman met Lois Lane.
Yeah. Oh, look at him.
The last laugh is by the Joker.
Yeah, that's what Joseph Gay says. What kind of?
Oh,
They're like, where's that coming from?
yeah, that's a bag of laughs. Again, prank level stuff, right? I mean, this is stuff you'd buy in like a magic shop or a silly store. Yeah, see, he's not dead. He's still alive. What about us? I like how he's got like no chance with her and he's still trying.
He's like, oh wow, I got a kiss. Oh, this is really awesome. The bat signal, everybody. Woo! That looks like it might have been an app animation there. Oh, the laughing bag was in the Flash movie, Charles Ratcliffe says. Cool. And I thought it was really cool that they kind of went along with this idea of this kind of ridiculous relationship. Like, how does it work? Oh, hold on a second. Did we lose we lost we lost him. He's back, he's back.
I fell from the roof of a cathedral, but I'm back. Love that end shot, by the way, of Batman, the Sentinel. He's a sentinel over the city. I love it.
Yes. Oh, so good. So good. Let's see. Does it end with Prince? It ends with Prince's song "Scandalous."
So
good. Guys, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with me for this one. This is such a great, epic movie for me. I love it. Just one moment in time in which I don't think I'll ever forget, what happened during, seeing this for the first time and experiencing the hoopla around it. It was all very engaging and a wonderful time in history to be alive. I wasn't a kid then. I was 19, but I loved it. I always loved the Batman TV show, and
oh yeah,
always loved all of, the cool things to surround itself with superheroes and things like that. And this was very special for me. So this is a movie I visit at least like once every 2 years or so, just to relive some of the hoopla of it all, and also just see a different time in which now a lot of other movies kind of follow in this kind of this genre. Like they kind of just use this as sort of I wouldn't say necessarily a blueprint, but there's certain things you can see carried over, um, character tropes and things like that. Any other things you want to talk about with
Charles says he met David Lee, the stuntman for this movie. That's pretty cool, man.
Okay, yeah.
Do you Retro, do you have any plans to do Batman Returns, Batman Forever?
Yes, I am gonna do Batman Returns in, I believe, 2 weeks, maybe. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm doing Edward Scissorhands next week, and then let me get my full schedule out. But just really quickly, can you tell us like your breakdown or thoughts on the movie as a closing for the watch party?
Just that Batman 1989 is a classic. You know, it really redefined what a superhero movie could be. It created a bigger market for the superhero movie, and I think really kicked open the door. This, along with Superman 1978, kicked open the door for what would become the MCU, perhaps the most profitable
Yes.
universe of movies to have ever been made, as far as what they earned. Endgame is one of the highest grossing films of all time globally, if not the highest. So, you had Superman, set the stage, but I think Batman came in at the end of the 80s and really set a new tone. Really set a new tone for what a superhero movie could do, and it delivered. Watching this movie today with all of you, I really realized how much Tim Burton pulled off. What a couple things. He gave the audience what they expected, and yet gave us his own vision, something that we could not have seen ourselves. So that's what I think. You want to strike that balance. You want to be able to give us something that we can't just say, "Oh yeah, this is exactly what I expected," but then at the same time, deliver some good old-fashioned, superhero versus supervillain stuff, and he gives us that, and you could see that was thought of, and there was care toward this in all of these scenes.
Yes.
So even when he was Bruce Wayne, he was running into the Joker. So they just kept it alive. They did a good job. I think this film delivers. It gives us the soundtrack. It gives us the acting. It gives us everything you want in a superhero movie, and they did it in 1989.
Yeah.
Bravo.
I think for a 1989 film, it really met up to the standards of the time, and also entertained. I mean, I think at the end of the day, you want a movie to entertain you.
Yes.
And I think everyone who sat down to see this in the theaters got the entertainment that they wanted. So I thought that was so important, that I think a lot of films kind of forget that, it's not just about subverting expectations or surprising people, but it's also about thrilling us, and also giving us what we came there for. We have a hard week, want to come sit down and have a good time, and this is a good time.
And it gave us some spectacle,
Yeah, Mark says the ending is so uplifting, made you feel great leaving the theater. Yes, the
Totally.
good guys won, and Batman is on the lookout for crime. He is on the job, and and that's why I consider him in this movie to be more of a James Bond character. He's already set in place. He's been fighting crime already. He's and this is one of the adventures he got to be a part of. that involves sort of closing a chapter with his parents, you know,
Right. There's
and then
resolution there.
yeah, yeah, and when you get to Returns, he's not dealing so much with that past as much anymore because he did close the door. That was pretty much it. Whereas I find sometimes, just bringing it up over and over is it's okay, but for this iteration of Batman, he dealt with it, and that's what makes even just this encounter special, you know.
Yeah. And Mark D with a C, just to kind of piggyback what you're saying. It is a great ending. You had that great final shot. And
Yes.
it's one of those soundtracks that when I'm listening to it and they play the music for the finale, they use a church bell in it. There's three bangs on a
Mm.
church bell, and I just love that. It is like a resounding victory for the good guys
Yes.
at the end of Batman.
Oh man, never underestimate church bells. They're so great for closing out a movie. So many great movies have that aspect. And let's see. Sergeant Giratana says, "Will you also do Batman Forever, a retro nerd girl?" Most likely that will happen during 2025 because
I actually like Batman for what was that, 1995? That one came, that's with Jim Carrey.
yes, they're so good.
Yeah, I
Um,
actually like that one. I did not like Batman and Robin. I actually struggled to finish Batman and Robin. I tried watching it
what?
twice. It was so, and I know you said you liked it, and so I'm not trying to
Uh,
knock it, but
no, no,
I thought it was
you could not
so
get.
overly produced that it became almost the story was secondary. It was like watching Cirque du Soleil with a Batman theme.
Yes, that was the point. That was definitely the point. And Boulder says Batman Returns is underrated. I think so too. It doesn't get enough love, but we're gonna give it so much love when we watch it. And
I am looking forward to rewatching that one.
yes, and I don't know. I think it's not on one of the weeks that we scheduled, but I would love for maybe I can. There's a way to work around. Maybe you can get in there, but we'll see. Mark D with a C says this movie was Star Wars level huge when it came out. Yes, I mean people were
Totally.
out there. It was insane how many people were just super super excited. Every little kid had like a Batman something, and they were so excited. You could I have to say a lot of little boys in particular were just losing it for Batman, and it
Losing
was
it.
yeah, like totally awesome to see fandoms like that.
Well,
I kind of miss that,
I mean, I have a secret theory. You know, we all fall in love with the movies for a variety of reasons. You know,
Mm,
obviously good films, classic films. You know, it's easy. It's easy. Our generation really fell in love with the movies. I feel like,
yes,
my dad's generation, they had the music, they had the rock and roll, but I feel like we had the movies. We got
yeah,
the movies in our age, and you know, for as thrilling as it is to watch a movie like this, I think most of us, when we were young, if we ever wanted to do something creative or be involved in films, the moment was born when you were sitting in a theater and you're part of a crowd that gets into the movie. A moment where the whole crowd's in on it, and there's this, festive atmosphere, and people are cheering and screaming and yelling, and it elevates the moment beyond it. That's for me. That's when I was like, man, this is what I'm gonna want to do this forever.
yes,
you know.
yes. Oh my goodness. And Mark T with the C says went back to the roots of Batman versus the camp. Where I love the '66 TV show. Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah.
I think the show was so much fun and was the perfect introduction. And there were so many people who saw the reruns, which really helped push it along as far as getting out there to the next generation and the next generation after that.
Right.
And then we had the movie, which was like, oh, what is this beautiful thing here? Where it's different, but it still delivered there was a camp to it that is a different kind of camp than the TV show, it had, with the Joker just being completely ridiculous and over the top, and maybe some of the things that Batman does is a little overkill, but it still was a fun movie for kids to enjoy. Had a playfulness about it, and the style was so simple, but also giving you that change and that difference that you were like, oh, this is different than what I expected. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. That stylized look really helped to
Yeah.
sell the visuals that you get. And Boulder says the best Batmobile. So cool.
Yeah, man. This one was the
And,
best by far.
yeah. And Caroline Hart says this was fun, Returner Girl. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And just as I want to start wrapping up because I definitely have to get over to Lorena's watch party. I don't want to miss that because we're going to be looking at. Let's see if I can get
The other superhero from DC.
yes, the other guy. You know who we're talking about. So let's see if I can get this in the chat. So you guys can go directly over there. I hope this will work. Yes, yes, yes. And let's see. And Boulder says Batmania 1989 was something else. You had to be there. Yes, yes. And it kind of reminds me of
Agreed.
way back in the day. We had Star Wars, right? But then we had the Planet of the Apes where people went ape.
Jaws too. Jaws was
Yeah.
a big blockbuster like marketing thing as well.
Yeah, yeah, it really was. But I remember with the Planet of the Apes, they had "Go Ape" as sort of their slogan, and it was insane. People were buying up so many things. It was just great.
That's awesome.
And I love that. I mean, I wish and I hope we can do that again because it's a lot of fun to see little kids excited about stuff like that, and
Yeah.
and the content being something that you wouldn't mind them seeing. Like you don't, you this is definitely like parent approve,
Yep. Yeah.
Let's see. And oh, Outcast Creative Lance says
Oh,
cheers,
Lance, what's up,
RNG
man?
and Douglas. If you're around, I really want you to join us for one of these days. I mean, I would have loved for
Oh,
you
yeah.
to have joined us for Christine because I know the main actor in that. But yeah, like contact me and see if any of the movies I'm going to be doing is going to work for you. And let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna zoom down a little quickie. And let's see. And Moonbeams has some facts for us. Says the Batman on screen began in 1943 with Lewis Wilson, and then 1949 with Robert Lowry, and 66 with Adam West and Olin Soul for the animated, and then Keaton, Conroy, Kilmer, and Clooney.
You know what I think it was about the 1989 Batman, and keep that up because Moonbeam, that's great because you're showing that our grandparents' generation Batman really emerged. I think the comic book started in the late 30s and really early 40s. So that's a pretty quick adaptation of Batman in 1943. So I think what made Batman 1989 so different is that this moved this character to the center of popular culture.
Yes.
It wasn't that the other ones were popular. They were part of the culture. They were in that kaleidoscopic, there's Star Trek and Batman with Adam West and all these other things going on. But this then suddenly put Batman as the centerpiece and it held up.
Yeah. And also I think Batman is really the most explored superhero in cinema, I would say, because there's so many movies, so many directors have covered Batman and Batman's other like kind of world
Yeah,
building.
Joker.
Yeah,
Batman's
and
hardly even in that. The
yeah,
first Joker anyway.
yeah, Suicide Squad, all of that, really great. And
Yeah.
William Blake also says Go Ape was the full page newspaper ad showing all 5 of the Ape movies in one day. Yes,
Oh, wow.
yes, and you can't forget about the Halloween mask that they used to have for that. All right, so I think it's time for me to announce what's coming up. So you guys know about the show happening later on, which I have to dash off to right after this. But I wanted to let you guys know that on the 16th, I will be doing Edward Scissorhands, Edward Scissorhands, 1990, with none other than Anti-Derivative Jill.
Oh,
Yes, isn't that awesome? She's gonna
awesome.
be here with us. That's gonna be amazing. And
Very,
then,
very cool.
right? And then on the 23rd, we will be doing Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Again, Douglas will be returning and hanging out with us for that, giving us great commentary as always. And then on the 30th of November, that's when we're gonna do Batman Returns. And that will be kind of really perfect for sort of like starting the holiday season, because Batman Returns has sort of a wintry theme
Yeah.
to it, and so it will be perfect to add in that slot. So it, it is going to be a lot of fun. So definitely return back for all of you guys who really love Batman and Batman Returns. And then we'll go full into the schedule for the holidays. That'll be quite a lot of fun. I have some great movies set up for you guys for the next
Yay.
holidays.
That'll be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes, so much fun. And what else? Yeah, Mark's Bueller. I always love when he's like, anyone?
Oh, William Blake Hall. You're right. One of the great fascinating things about Ferris Bueller's Day Off is that Cameron is the character who goes through the big change.
Yes, so good.
And I do think Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a flagship Gen X film. I think it has Generation X values in it.
Yes.
And I think that it's comedic, it's a comedy, but it's got important messages in it, and it's a coming of age movie disguised as a comedy in some ways. It's a great film.
It is, yeah. And Mark D with the C says, awesome, Jill is the best. Yes. Oh my goodness, she's so fantastic. And also, Mark, if you want to jump on, I think it would be great if you could join me for one of these sessions. Maybe return of Batman Returns. Maybe. Let me know. And Keith E says, see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. So cool.
Awesome. Perfect.
Yes. That would be great. Let's see. Okay, so guys, I had a wonderful time, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you'll be able to join me over at Lorena's, but otherwise, have a wonderful weekend.
Yep.
And take care of yourselves. Have a good one.
Retro Nerd Girl, you are clear for takeoff.
In the neon light she stands, retro girl with nerd comments. Memory lane she takes your hand to the past where good times land. Pixels glow and screens do hum, hear the beat of retro drum. Geeks unite, oh here we come, nerdy world where we're from. Retro logo leads the way, in the night to yesterday. All the nerds come out to play, she's the light, won't go away. Film and movies on rewind, good old days in nerdy mind. Retro nerd nerd girl you will find, guiding us all intertwined. Joystick games and cosmic fights, wondrous days and sleepless nights. With her everything feels right, retro glow in neon lights. Guiding us all intertwined. Joystick games and cosmic fights, wondrous days and sleepless nights. With her everything feels right, retro glow in neon lights.